You just said recording.
Minutes out there.
You couldn't find it.
No, it's an hour and something. So that's how much recording time he has, or battery power.
All right.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Cypher, the Hyper, the Humbler podcast, baby.
Baby.
I just understood why you was doing that, boy. As you can see, we just a bunch of cool cats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out here with my family. I'm your host, J. Mark James, with my family.
Hey, what it do?
El Producto.
You know how we do it, man.
Coach AJ Smith, man.
What it do?
You know
What
how
it
we do
do?
it, man.
And we just here to have a good time. Gentlemen, y'all have
Man.
a good week.
Yes, sir.
I had a
Yes,
good
sir.
week, man.
That's what's good. That's
I had a
what's
good
good.
Yeah, this week been really, really slow. It's been really slow.
It felt fast to me.
What you
Man,
getting to?
The season, man. The season is here. Season is here. March Madness is here. It's a lot of basketball.
a lot of basketball.
It's a lot of basketball. Dude.
It's a lot of basketball.
Ooh.
It's a lot of basketball.
It's a few things to talk about. I don't really watch college, but when we get into it, we got at least one thing I know about. I don't know about much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're going to have to teach us on that college, man.
I'm sorry, fans. Of who?
Am I
that
good?
L
Should I turn
belongs to.
myself up?
No, I had to actually turn you down some.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I do be echoing sometimes. We all have a right to fail. I just read that on the podcast topic. I don't know if anybody has any.
You have a right to fail.
You have a right to fail.
Is there such thing as failure?
Speak on it.
Perception.
That's true. That's true.
Because I always say, and y'all quote me, it's never a loss but a lesson learned.
Never a loss, but a lesson learned.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I feel like when I see it, it's like we want people to have success, and sometimes we want it so bad that we allow ourselves to fall back or fail. And sometimes you gotta allow people to fail and stop trying to protect them from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, failure is like the lesson learned of failure is the golden ticket right there. If you can learn something out of that, is it really failing? Like that phrase that you said depicted would be that.
I just think it's I think it's rejection. I don't know why failure kind of sound weird to me. We saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I probably know too much in my head.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's like you got to go through failure maybe enough times to understand how okay it is to fail, or even to understand how perspective can mean everything in the midst of a failure.
Okay, so let me say it like this. And it's because of all my experience and what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it says bad is going to come.
Right.
And I've learned the laws of rhythm to understand now when things are on the opposite side, it's not failure.
Okay.
It's on the opposite side.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the things that you are trying to push forward is a rejection only to test if you really want it.
Your commitment. Testing your commitment.
So now I don't
Your
see
faith.
failure no more. I can't picture
Process
failure
it.
no more. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
that brings it to that point. It's like
That's great.
That's
great.
why you gotta let somebody fail. That's why you
so they can get to how I'm looking at it.
Right.
not just because
Because it's a faith thing, right?
it's the faith. They
Keep your
gotta
faith.
bump their head first. You gotta
Right.
touch the stove to know the fire is hot. To
The
know
fire is hot.
never do that again. One thing.
Experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the feeling of failure is something that you got to be able to embrace to an extent to have that pressure to keep going for the system. You got to have that test of faith, basically, is what I'm saying.
Everything got to be tried by fire.
Yeah, and if you don't allow somebody to go through their test, you might be preventing them from getting their blessing.
Right. And that's why that's why I got that wisdom that it's not always there's a good thing done at the wrong time that cause harm, because exactly what you just said, because you could be in a season where you need to learn a certain thing, like he said, and then I come in trying to do the good gesture that I think, okay, this is what God want me to do, but even God says no sometimes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because no sometimes is protection. Sometimes that is the thing, because he's trying to all the soil of the grounds of your heart, that dirt, before anything can grow in it, if that dirt has been exposed for too long, you got to flip it.
Right.
So that's that rejection, right? It has to be turned inside out. The grounds of your heart has to be, so God has to go in and, you see what I'm saying? And that's a lot of breaking and a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So there's a breaking. The yoke is being broken.
And to that point, when you make a mastermind with somebody, which is where, you know, we creating a viewpoint, a point of view, a thought, a agreement amongst all of us, which in this room creates this mastermind, right? But now we're linked, we're married towards this goal now, right? With this podcast, you know, he's got this set, I've got this part, you got that part. We've created this nucleus in the air, but now we're married to that nucleus. We're married to each other. And so I can only go as far as you will allow me, in terms of what we're doing together. And so if I'm trying to, you still getting your grounds fixed up, and mine's is fixed up, and L's is fixed up, and we trying to go here, but we done said we're gonna do it with you, and we married to you. You got to get yours fixed before we can go as far as we want to go. So sometimes you gotta. That's why certain people get moved out your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll probably take you twice as long to get where you're trying to go, because you're trying to prevent somebody else from going through what they got to go through to be able to understand where y'all was headed is as important as it is. Then sometimes you just stay with it, and it does take a little longer, and you rock with that, and y'all reap the benefits. But sometimes y'all don't all get to go at the same time because everybody ain't ready.
For sure. For sure.
That's definitely it. For sure.
Yeah. You know,
and that's truth 101 for you right there.
Yes, sir. That's one that started off. That's the hey, first humbler joint.
Yeah.
What? Ooh. Okay. We got two joints real quick on some news stuff. It's not really crazy. Well, okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know which one I want to do.
Spew it out.
All right, let's go with this one. Let's go with this one first.
Loose.
The U.S. economy, the impending recession, rate hikes,
right?
Bank failures.
That's
where we at right now.
Yeah.
I mean, have y'all heard anything about bank failures?
Oh no, you know I've been looking into it.
All right, bad.
Yeah,
good. So it's a couple of banks, one for sure that failed, and then I think another one just recently. Nah, it's definitely another one. I think it's like one or two. No, not one or two. 2 or 3 different banks that failed. 2, I think, in America, and then 1 in Europe.
Oh wow.
Okay, because
go off.
There's a World Bank system that we need.
Oh yeah, this that Bitcoin joint we was talking about.
Okay, so we have some institutions that need to collapse. All right, so we can bring some things all under one umbrella. Because the notion is that we need peace in this world. And if we can be all under the same beliefs, under the same way of thinking, then we can probably prevent global wars.
I just thought about a Lil Wayne verse.
You know? So I'm bringing all that up to say I'm not surprised that all of this is happening. You know.
Yeah.
we got a digital coin, digital currency that's coming soon.
Yeah.
Golly,
All
dude,
right.
that's gonna be something.
Yeah,
it's just
you know, and they're trying to get rid of. Well, I ain't gonna say necessarily get rid of the cash. I actually don't know what they're gonna do, but
I hope not, man.
well, we're showing them that we want to do things digitally.
True.
People are like online businesses are selling more than the actual stores
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true.
So it's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just some other information that I've been reading on.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, that
Well, he
that-
went straight to the gut punch.
Right.
Straight to the gut punch. Listen,
Hey
no,
man, they gut punching us. They just,
no
hey, like,
talking around
you,
it.
you wake up and then your money's going out the bank all of a sudden.
That's
what,
crazy.
What type of fear does that cause for people that have thousands and hundreds and thousands and
A
even
super panic
millions?
to hurry up and
So
get their
where
money
can
back.
you put your
And this is
money?
in regional banks too, not major big
come on,
banks,
bro.
but it's in the smaller banks. You
The,
know
the
what I'm saying?
local
What?
banks is where it's more dangerous.
Like First Security,
bro.
Yeah.
Like
Dang.
First Bank.
So
First Bank, anything like that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want those because those the ones that we depend
they
on.
got black people out here looking like, see, I told y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do none of that. Hey, Cash App me. He be with the, you know what I'm saying? Cash
Yeah.
App got me. Nah, but look, for real, on the,
Digital dollar.
to piggyback off what you said, for real, it's absolutely that from my perspective, just looking at it economically, financially.
Yeah.
Like, so
We replacing humans.
so let's
Man.
go to one thing.
you know.
That's another one. You consolidating power to me in the way that
Exactly.
things are being done. So we say it's regional banks. Those are smaller banks with less capital.
Right.
And something around the Trump era changed when it came to policy versus, you know, how much capital each bank has versus how stringent the policy is for them depending on how much capital they operate with.
Right.
The system is already been rigged to fail in the sense that most banks probably owe more than they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they have way more liabilities than they have assets to actually cover what's on the books. So at any given time, what I've been seeing lately is a bank's confidence, the confidence people have in a specific bank can be tampered with through Twitter and these other social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And those can induce bank runs. We saw it happen last year with Terra Luna. Then we saw it happen again, test runs.
I know what you meant.
We saw it happen again with Floyd Bankman. You know what I'm saying?
The first name I didn't.
FTX.
Okay. Cause that's the one that
Sam
I know
Bankman.
about.
Sam Bankman Freed, I think, or something like that. But so those was the first 2, maybe 3 that we saw the engineer attack happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then this what was it? Silicon Valley Bank. That was the first one that went down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
That one
I remember
started. That one, if
That was the first one.
I'm not mistaken,
On a Friday.
you really started to see
Hey,
some
Daddy.
some of the bank runs start when the Twitter activity happened. I think somebody had called out something and started alerting people,
Mm-hmm.
and it just started happening from there. And the reason I brought all that up is when we go to consolidating the power, it's like you've got engineered bank runs to me that have happened in succession over the last 16, 24 months.
Okay.
And here's the first domino to fall after an engineered recession has been, instituted from the Federal Reserve by all these rate hikes. They were waiting for this to happen. They were waiting for something to break. That's why they kept raising the rates. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff is playing in perfect order if you were to believe that that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of consolidating power, these banks, they have so many assets that are under their,
Mhm.
under their care, under their stewardship. once these bank runs happen, all this value runs out. Those assets are now for sale.
Is that my phone?
Hey, put that thing on Do Not Disturb.
For sure. What happened? My phone calling myself?
It's a Jalen.
Why? Is it me, or is it another Jalen?
Oh, no, that's the other Jalen.
Yeah.
It's Jayle.
You put it on Do Not Disturb?
No.
You may as well do.
I got you.
I've never turned that on. How do you
Don't let me forget my point, though. Still recording?
Bank structures.
It's not just bank structures.
I mean, but I knew you was going to get on point once I said that.
All right, roll it.
Wrong thing.
All right.
Oh, nah, nigga, that's one more.
Roll it.
Here we go.
But consolidating power for the banks is where we was at. So like I said, the banks, once they lost all of this equity, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
they still had a whole bunch of assets that they were in charge of that they have to get back to the people that own it now at this point, you know? And so all these assets that come with the bank are now for sale for whatever the bank goes for. And all the banks that fail, they go from like $200, $300 a share to like $2 a share. You know what I'm saying? Maybe less than that. And then they go to auction, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then from auction, bigger banks, JP Morgan, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They come in and scoop the little bank and all the assets they were in control of for pennies.
On the dollar.
And so that's where you see the power consolidation going. And so it's like Sony, Universal, and the major record labels, where after all the companies fail, they just all become a part of the umbrella of one of the big three.
Exactly.
One of the big three.
Exactly.
Same thing with TV networks and all the other stuff.
And you know, the digital coins and crypto has already been bought up by BlackRock and a couple of other big investment firms.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, whoever the big banks is in bed with, whoever owns, you know, the majority of the crypto, they just link up, and now it's just 2-3 big conglomerates that own all the money or the money supply.
That's why
Wow.
TikTok is a problem.
It's big business.
That's why TikTok is speak on it. That's another one. Let's go straight to it.
Yeah, because now we have to have this company, because like I was watching the conference and everything, and they were asking him, you know, hey, you know, we seen certain information that seems like China's in control over your business.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of U.S. information concerning the people of the U.S. and you know, we are afraid that you could be giving this information to people that want to, you know, because again, we just had balloons from China coming in.
We did.
Remember, we had conversations about U.S. going out to Africa, trying to, you know, get them on their team and everything. So we know there's like the beginning stages of a war happening, you know, in regards of everything that can happen by the laws up to when war actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is trying to get themselves in position just in case it goes there. Because look, you see what I'm saying? So when it all bears down, they gotta. They want to make sure he's not going to sell the information. So they asking him, okay, can you give us some type of insurance of that? You see what I'm saying? Because it's like they don't, and I'm just speaking from their perspective.
Yeah.
We don't need ISIS again.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And not only that, we need to have more control of the narrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
because their thing is that the things that's being taught, that's what they're trying to use. Okay,
Right.
this is what they're trying to use. Some of it is one thing that I do agree, because they asked him this question, because they was trying to get him to, give him the numbers
Mhm.
and all that, and he held his grounds, his rights, like, hey, we don't have that information to give. We don't care to share our private information. But
Right.
they said, well, if you said you are willing to, work with us, then would you be willing to come in agreement to not sell any of the information that you get from the U.S. people?
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah. What you got to say to that one? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, in his facial expression, to me, showed a little very uncertainty, like that's not what he want to do. Because 9 times out of 10, that's how they make a lot of their money.
Okay.
That's why we got people like from India, all on these cash apps, got our own people in agreement to be hopping in your messenger,
Trying to get your cash
trying to get your cash app.
hack your page.
You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna send you over to that other line where that guy gonna be actually trying to get you to get more money.
Yeah.
And look, the guy said this one time. He said, "Oh, we gonna tell the federal police." I said, "You dumb, you ain't gonna tell no police nothing. We know this is a scam, bro. I'm just
Right.
trying to see what the process is. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So when you got all that crazy, silly stuff going on, they gonna act like that. But it's also them again trying to control the narrative.
Okay.
Cause as long as they got to get everything under one umbrella. They really want one currency flowing through all nations. We talking about a world bank.
Bro, y'all ever seen that movie with Justin Timberlake?
Which one?
And he was out here scanning his wrist. Like they
No, I
had
ain't seen
time
that.
Right there. I think it was called Time. That's crazy.
Maybe.
But like, bro, like you'll clock in and scan, and they give you time as currency on your life.
Oh, okay. I feel like somewhere in my distant memory. I
That's
remember something like
crazy.
Man, look.
that. But
I mean,
I see how you kind of came with that.
I mean,
I was like, where that
you
come
went to
flip
Total
it.
Recall
Yeah.
on it.
But you can flip it though, and
That might have been what it was called.
Right.
we don't know what kind of currency. I mean, it's gonna be digital, but
Nah,
then
we
at one
know,
point when it,
I mean, we already dealing with digital currency.
you ever
see
seen
already.
Futurama?
Right?
You buying
Of course.
Come on, man.
outfits on Call of Duty and
Yup.
NBA
Yeah,
2K,
ain't no question
and
what it's gonna be like.
so you converting that cash into virtual
dollars.
money
But that's what
and
I'm
making
thinking,
these
though, before
virtual
we-
purchases.
Before we leave the TikTok thing, I feel like the TikTok thing is the war situation, but something about the last few years after the housing crisis, you know what I'm saying, and all the stimulus we got there, and then after all the stimulus that we ended up getting from the pandemic, and then on top of that, like, the stimulus, but the people getting money, right, and not having to work, like, all the rate changes right now has been making it so that people are losing their savings faster, so that they have to go back to work
Exactly.
faster, right? But also you see a lot of things happening geopolitically to where the lines are changing.
Exactly.
Territorial lines aren't necessarily changing, but even
Mhm.
Russia's trying to change that right now, right? The pecking order is in a shaky way to where when they say the New World Order, it's like Russia and China, India, North Korea, Africa, everybody seems to know that a new place in the order is up for grabs right now. If you was at 10th, you might be able to get that 8th seed.
No,
You
real
know what I'm
talk.
saying?
Right.
But
Real talk.
that's how it's looking right now. So
You gotta get that currency up.
and I feel like as we get more information, it's looking like, we had the pandemic happen, came from a certain place,
right?
scientifically seemed like it could have been an act of something more than an accident, we won't speculate too much until that comes out.
Right.
But that starts all this snowballing that has happened,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up to where we have Russia, all the way up to where we have this balloons and then TikTok and the China stuff, which has been going on for a minute. And I'm like, all of that on top of people not working. You know what I'm saying? People haven't been
and
working.
that's the other part I did forget
You know
to
what I'm
mention.
saying?
Exactly.
And while the global order is changing, that means we can't depend on China to make certain things no more. So you got a scramble of either trying to find somebody else we can work with or trying to put Americans to work. Hence the rate hikes again. We're trying to push people back to work.
Right.
Hence again, World War, because one of the issues I've been seeing that they say is that we have way more demand than we have supply. That just means we have way more money than we have people making things to purchase.
Exactly.
So in order to ramp up production, nothing ramps up production better than war.
Then war.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So all of that
Because
stuff
everything has to go up.
Yeah.
See, you raise, and then think about this. So even to piggyback off what he's saying, now we have a culture of young people who don't want to do 9 to 5. Bro, we went into Kroger's and it was almost empty. They really didn't have enough employees in there.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of places like this.
It is.
really
So,
is.
and think about this as well. You have younger people now on social media, and guess where they make a majority of their money? TikTok.
Yep.
So TikTok got too many people being able to have access to making money. So we got to get TikTok under regulation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Look at America out here trying to control everything again.
But that's why I said, I don't like that. It's always like they try to make you choose between security and your rights.
Yep. Every time.
And a lot of times we give up our rights over for security.
Security, yeah.
That's not
Stockholm syndrome.
That's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Americans got Stockholm syndrome,
bro.
Because you've been catered by them for so long, you can't think outside the box.
But see, the younger generation don't want to
they
follow
don't
in
wanna
our
fall in
steps.
line, not even a little. Of course not.
So
we come to a crossroads.
So now we got to think about it. What do you do? We got to. Do we replace the humans with robots?
Watch yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
Because that's some of the solutions that they're trying to bring.
Because they won't have to pay robots.
Because they showed one cargo that already have robotics. Mm-hmm. They're moving the cargoes, stacking them up, and production is way more faster than if humans were doing it.
If humans were doing it, exactly.
Yo, that played to your little credits joint. This how it play into it though.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, look, they gonna have them doing that. I see it already right now. The price increases from the food that we got right now. The price increase in everything is not because people have more money to spend and there's less supply.
Mm-hmm.
It's just price gouging. It's companies charging more because they know they can because of the political and the economic environment, how it looks.
How things are going, right.
But things haven't even hit to the point yet to where they would be justified for some of those price increases.
Because that means the wholesaling price will have to go up.
This is also the thing. If they're replacing people with machines, they're also lowering cost for what they're doing, which means they should be able to afford to take some of the cost off of the customer. They're not doing that.
Of course not.
They're not doing that. And so as we move into the future, you're going to continue to see people lose their jobs. Jobs get less costly for companies to uphold because of machines and AI.
Exactly.
And price increases just for the fuck of it because they can.
Damn.
So it costs less, it's less upkeep, and we make more money. And then that's how, plus they already control the money supply, you get your allowance on your wrist for whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Because you
beep.
like
But
I don't even know how
but-
you earn cash, how you earn anything at that time. You know what I'm saying? You just buying a whole bunch of things from them. That's probably why they can afford to price gouge, because you're not really, I don't even know how you earn in cash. You probably being allotted a allowance,
Mhm.
For sure.
and it's all of a sudden, capitalism is for just corporations. Everybody else is, what's the other? How they living in Russian?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, bro.
Everybody else is communist,
Yeah.
not communist. Is it
No,
communist?
it's communist.
Communism.
Yeah, it's communist.
Wow.
So,
Talking about you only can have one baby.
but it's communism. It's like a slavery type of communism. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you below us. You stay in that. It's like communism would be a class system. Like, in the class system, communism is lower class, and then middle class is like another joint, and then
Mhm.
higher class is the capitalists.
Well, it look like they trying to take out the middle class.
That's
Yeah.
probably what it's gonna be. It's gonna be
for
two
sure.
classes.
Yeah.
You got your communist class, and you've got your capitalist.
They really
class.
trying to take us on. What's the movie?
Is it communist or socialist?
They so close
They
together,
supposed to
bro.
let-
They
Man.
But see, we can even say democracy.
can.
That's facts.
You talking about that movie Wall-E?
Where it's hunting games,
Hunger Games.
Oh, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. I'm
I
sorry.
thought you
Yeah.
were talking about Wall-E. I was about to say, man.
No, it remind me of Hunger Games though.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got
for
these
sure.
people at the stream, and then they just picking people from the bottom and putting
Making
them
them
up.
fight.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you talking about control.
That's some control. Or y'all seen that movie Maze?
You
Mm-mm.
watching some movies, man.
Y'all
You
haven't
gotta
seen
come
Maze?
on the show
No.
and go off on your movie game, man.
Man, bro, what you
'Cause I'm
talking
like,
about?
wait,
Y'all haven't seen that movie Maze?
Nah,
Yeah,
man,
maybe
we got
once
to
or
check that out, man.
Man, y'all slipping on your pimping.
Man, well, you ain't talking about putting no dinner together and then, you know what I'm saying, inviting your family.
dinner.
You know what I'm saying?
Because,
Because that's what we can do.
yeah, we can do that. We about
You
to
know what
live
I'm
together.
saying?
You know what I'm
Man.
saying?
Put some food together.
Yeah, so
man.
so that was a great topic. But the next thing I was gonna talk about real quick, I don't know if we have that much time, but internet censorship before COVID versus after COVID.
Internet censorship?
Yeah. That was something I really was looking at that recently because, like,
Do we want that?
but we got it already.
Yeah, we
Think
do
about
have
it.
it.
Like
It's already being monitored all the
it's
time.
it's like they used Trump as if he was 9/11 and they gave us a new Patriot Act.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
That's a way to say it.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, it was extreme, but
That was the way to
it was
say-
But
perfect.
it's no-
it was
it's
perfect.
real,
Yeah,
though.
it was perfect. Yeah.
It's for real
The
because
uncut rawness of fucking Trump was
like
something
they
else.
used that to con us into censoring ourselves
Mhm.
yeah.
and censoring our
Bro,
speech.
this is when I see. This is why I don't jump when I first see stuff, bro. Cause I'll be like, "What y'all up to?" Like, bro, they literally. I had watched. There was a part where they was trying to say, Trump knocked one of the guys' hat off his head.
I remember that.
Bro,
Wow.
I had seen it when he first got off. He didn't do that. It was the wind blew it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I promise you, like 2 hours later, they put a post up talking about Trump knocked the hat off dude's head, and Trump actually went back and picked dude's hat up and put it on his head
I
for
remember
him.
that was
Like,
hilarious.
bro, but they took it, and then when I seen that, I was like, oh, they finna be trying to take this man off.
Oh,
And
for
they was
sure.
kind of doing that from day one. I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
they don't like him. You know what I'm saying?
You weren't supposed to win.
It's just so crazy, bro, because you had those debates where they would expose him for shady shit, and then he would turn around and expose them for doing the exact same thing and haven't been doing it for as long as they've been around. And I feel like it was at that moment they was like, perfect. We can put them in the crazy mirror house. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, he's just shaped like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he lying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a fake mirror
Boy, that's
right
a
there.
skit, bro.
It is, for sure.
But that's what it seemed like. It was like, okay, now for both Trump and them, it was like Republicans used it just as much as the Democrats did.
Absolutely.
It was like
absolutely.
It was like, oh, We did it. We can make two truths on niggas. Just like we was talking about in the last pod. It was like we really can convince niggas that there's two different truths. Like we can split it up. Like nah, ain't no corruption in politics, but Trump is corrupt on all the politics shit. But no, we don't do that over here type shit. And Trump like, yeah, I do that shit. But they been doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? And
if I'm going down,
I'm doing it for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh.
Hey, bro, like if I'm going down, everybody's going down.
But to take that and then like think about it, we have more. We don't hear about it as much, but there's off-brand social media platforms now that exist. What is it?
Oh yeah,
you know
it's
what
a
I'm
whole
saying?
lot of them.
It's a few of them. I can't even think, but it's like people have made their own niche social platforms for their own specific type of conversations because they've been pushed off. I'm in
a lot of those communities,
and they've been pushed off of regular TV.
Right.
When we first got YouTube, Facebook, and all these things, it was supposed to be our freedom from the corporations to be able to speak how we wanted to speak.
But they had to abide by the jurisdiction.
And that's the whole thing I'm talking about with hip hop, because it's the same thing. It's like the foundation of what it's supposed to be, and then it gets under this umbrella, and it turns into something that was never meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like
our human nature get into it, bro, and we corrupt it.
And this is the other thing I was about to, it's
my bad for cutting
like,
you out too, but
it's almost like in business, which that's what we talking about, because it's all business right here.
Exactly.
It's almost like in business, whenever we want to scale, it's easy to get into business. It's easy to be an entrepreneur. It's easy to start. It's not easy to be profitable, but a lot of people do it.
It's not easy.
It's even tougher. It's even tougher to sustain. Even tougher to scale for real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And to be sustainable.
Longevity.
And to be sustainable at scale. And it seems like every time people that look like us and think like us seem to get to a point, a level where we need to scale, that's when the fangs come in. And that's when they start to seize control and find ways to dismantle, to seize control, and then we have to start anew all of a sudden.
That's right.
But it's begun already. The censorship happened years ago. We're in the aftermath of it. We're no longer living in as free a speech environment as we were before Trump got here.
I mean, that happened way before Trump, though.
I mean, it was definitely. That's why I said Patriot Act, really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like there was an illusion.
Yeah.
Trump started in 2016, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right around the time. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, bro, it was like when it would happen, you knew that it was happening, but it was like you could still be like, might be the CIA or the FBI or something. Sure. Somebody up high up must be taking him offline. You know what I'm saying? Like he must have said too much. Now it's Facebook. It ain't the FBI. It don't gotta be none of them. It's just straight the algorithm. Oh, nigga, you said that? You can't come on back here. You can't say that on here, brother.
Now you get suspended on Facebook. When have you ever got suspended on Facebook?
I mean, it's been like that for years now, but. And of course, that really started
the censorship.
Obama era,
and when we seen when they came out there on that thing on Facebook with the fact tracker, I was like,
they came with the fact tracker.
I was like, what?
That happened during the COVID shit.
I forgot all about that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why. And see, that's what we talking the same thing. When I say control the narrative, bro. This is what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, dog. That's what I'm saying. That's the main part I'm bringing up for the censorship of before COVID versus after COVID. Wow. Because after COVID, during COVID, we allowed them to tell us so much of what to do and how to do it. We begged them to take control.
Oh no, I know. I'll give you one even more crucial than that. Biden came on TV and said, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
I'm glad I was paying attention
Told
to some stuff.
told niggas to their face that, and they went there.
If you
and they
don't,
voted for this nigga.
they talking about, look, if you don't vote for me, he said,
You ain't black.
I'm talking about smirking about it.
Wow.
Like, listen, and that's what I'm saying. It's like
Huh.
somebody like me,
Nigga ain't that.
when they came out with the flat screen TV and switched us over to the box.
Nigga been
for
talking about
cable
for a
joint.
long time.
I'm trying to tell
But
you,
it was
bro.
in the ether. Like
Right.
you.
I know
could
what you saying,
you know
though.
what I'm
I know what
saying?
you saying. It's like they
It's like this
they
is phase
transferred.
5. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like
They
they
done-
created a general to point at.
yeah.
That's what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's still the same game. It's just now they use it.
No.
It's the tools and it's the tools that they're using.
Oh, we
You get what I'm
and,
saying?
what
and,
you're saying.
and it's the evolution of the process.
That's
they
what I'm
got.
trying to say.
They started off with what they did, and if they had a plan then, we're still in the playbook.
Exactly.
And they just got to a part of the playbook that niggas was fighting for the last 2 decades to prevent. You know what I'm saying? When the
okay, I see what
COVID
you're
joint
saying.
hit and they really sliced reality in half, that opened up a whole new matrix
Exactly.
for what they about
And-
to do.
Parallel
and,
universe.
and some things they were not expecting at the same time.
Wow.
That's true. So I'm like,
That's why we having these different situations. Because I was saying, why is they showing this murder charge on TV?
talk about it.
Murder charge of who?
Look, man, I don't remember the guy's name, but when I seen that trial up, I've been trying to see what else was going on. Because I'm like, whenever we got something like that going on,
It hot or something.
it's again, I'm trying to
distraction.
prove what he's saying in so many words.
that
You-
they
you know
control
what I'm
the
saying?
narrative.
Yeah, because it's layers upon layers upon
Right.
layers, as he's saying. And now we dealing with a algorithm. That's what I was trying to say on the last episode. Like, bro, you dealing with an artificial intelligence that's learning you every day,
Every day.
right? And the new conversion is attention,
Right.
because we're under attention war as well.
Yep.
While what he's saying, classes are being splitted.
Mm-hmm.
So those that are like intelligent enough to be on this other hierarchy,
Right.
ones that know how to use their brain, are you gonna be the content creator or are you gonna be the consumer of the content? You see what I'm saying? And then raising the inflation so those content creators that are not really supposed to be content creators can get knocked down to the right class that they need to be in.
To operate the system.
Because we have to divide and conquer.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm going back to the box and even proving more how it's on a whole nother level today, because
For sure.
censorship started back then. Because they even did a what's the thing where they do everybody go around, they trying to count how many people there are.
Census.
Yeah, they see when you see them start doing that too, that's part of the censorship. They trying to count how many people are actually here
Mm-hmm.
and get a track of everything. That's why they trying to create this digital dollar, because they can track it more, because they're worrying that they're losing more tax money.
Mm.
So they need to be able to monitor it in a way where they can make sure they're getting every dollar that is owed in taxes or whatever. That's why they trying to change the whole tax system up and make that easy. I could go into that conversation too, but that'd be a whole nother 30 minutes messing with me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
That's the next pod.
yeah, you feel me? But yeah, all of that has been used to get us to that point where I'm talking about. That's why he said, well, he just went for the gut. Yeah, because all this nonsense that's going on, the big picture is the people
Mm-hmm.
have to agree.
That's what you're saying.
The people have
That's
to
what
be
you're
in
saying.
agreement. So
And it's gonna
as
take pain.
he's saying, yeah,
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
For us to get
that's
through
why
that.
when you have somebody like Trump come in disturbing the process, the process. Because we in the playbook, like he said. So then you have Trump in there, and he's not going to court. He's actually trying to move people out of the White House
Mm-hmm.
that he felt like might be part of the plan. That's what he was trying to say in so many words. Like, we're gonna gut them out. We're gonna get rid of the leeches in the system that he so-called feel like is destroying America.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Huh.
So all of this is playing part, and all of this started from back then when they first started the censorship. Because those flat screen monitors and everything made it where they were able to have more ability to monitor us even more, because they wanted to learn us even more. So by the time we get to 2014, 15, now we got social media and stuff really rising to a whole nother level and everything.
Right.
But we also have people becoming more intelligent.
Yeah.
That's why we have the situation today, even with TikTok, where people are start learning, well, hey, I don't have to work a 9 to 5. I can get on this social media thing and make more money loving what I do.
Then,
Somebody playing Call of Duty all day or 2K and streaming that live and making money off that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you raising inflation and thinking they about to go back,
right.
but they got all these different platforms where they still can make money. Because think about this. A lot of these social media platforms stop monetizing certain videos.
They did.
Okay? Why you think that is? Again, trying to get people back to work.
And less advertising dollars to actually allocate to creators.
That's true,
because
too.
it's
That's
less
true, too.
companies spending on advertising. That's the first thing they cut before they start cutting jobs.
Because it's all down to advertising at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Because
yeah.
the more attention we can have on people, the more we can promise our clients that we can have more advertising to their business so they can get more sales. Because at the end of the day, it's about commerce.
I was about to say it's all commerce.
Yeah, man. It's about commerce, and who has the most commerce or control of that?
Is the winner of the war.
Yeah. No labels.
That's a deep one, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a crazy rabbit hole.
And so let's talk about music for a second.
Let's get
Let's
on
get
the
on
music.
on the tunes, man.
Man, what's going on with the tunes, man?
It's a few
It's all
things happening.
entertainment.
Like the game is just constantly changing for one thing. TikTok's integration is where it's at. That's another thing. I think it's gonna be crazy to see what's gonna happen with the TikTok ban, as labels have started to really try and take a foothold over TikTok. But you know what else?
I don't think TikTok gonna get banned though.
I don't think it is either.
I think they're gonna conform.
They got to. I think they got to.
Wow.
Because I think the labels have already started to almost, I won't say boycott, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're at somewhat of a war to show their power, throw their weight around, versus TikTok.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's something going on right now because TikTok, if you notice on TikTok, it's hard to find Apple Music, Spotify songs.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
And the reason it is because I think they trying to push their independent creators more than they're pushing
They
those
are.
to
They
try
are.
and show the record labels that we don't really need y'all to keep.
And
this
they worried
popped
about
up.
that, bro.
And the major record labels have been trying to strong arm TikTok because they know the power of TikTok in terms of getting them streams.
Mm-hmm.
This is the combat though. You've got the lobbying for TikTok to get banned. On the side of YouTube, Facebook, and all them reels coming up.
Mhm.
On the side of Spotify saying they're about to start adding little 5, 6, 7 second video clip possibilities for you to put
Mhm.
on your personal page. So they're trying to compete a little bit with the short attention span visual aspect.
Man,
as
they can
well.
learn a lot from TikTok, bro.
They
Oh,
really
they
can.
they are, but that's to me is like the chess move versus TikTok.
But that's the problem. See, so let me implement this in just a little bit. What we have is public versus private. We got a private company with private clients, with private clientele
Mhm.
on a public
Platform.
platform.
Mm.
And private and public don't mix.
Right.
Mm.
So he either has to come fully into the
That's why they got to. Either that or create a branch that's completely
and it's gonna have to
overseen.
come down here.
Yeah.
Yup. It can't be where it was.
Yeah.
and according to them.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
That's how they want
As
it.
long as the U.S. can have full control over data and all of that,
That's
they
all
will
I'm
let
saying.
them be as big as
As
they
they
want
wanna
to
be, exactly.
Exactly.
And that's why I said that one little part, and this is what I have a huge problem with, of what's going on today, is to me the selling of somebody else's information.
Mm-hmm.
To me is where it's like that's kind of wrong to me, because it's like, even though it's some of the information is just like your name, address, phone number, email.
This is the reason
Right.
This is the only reason I say
You
it's-
know what I'm saying? But when we start talking about personal information,
I don't know. It's a lot of information I want to know about my customers in particular. I don't just want to know your name and your email address and your age. I want to know where you work.
well, I was just talking on the
I wanna
basic.
know how much you make.
Exactly.
You know, different things. like
Exactly.
that.
I ain't
Yeah.
even just mentioned that. I just said the basic stuff,
Yeah.
Right.
just to show how the extension of that
Yeah.
to be giving that information away.
But this is the thing. It's like you're not giving it away.
You're selling it.
You're selling it. But it's like
Where's
that
my
inf-
piece of the bread? That's what I'm getting to. If you
This is the
selling my
thing.
information without my consent, bro.
that's true. That's true. But it's like that's a crazy circle. Y'all, we be getting paid like Spotify artists get paid. Probably way less. You know what I'm saying? 0.000000.
Hey, look, I got a solution. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to make a clip of me saying this.
Yeah.
I got a solution, baby. Hey, let's do this. Let's pay the people. Y'all give us a percentage. We know y'all selling the information. Y'all got to make the money in the back door.
Right.
Okay, that's business. The problem is you're not including us. You're not.
At all.
It's your name, your information, where you are, how much you making, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you mean to tell me you don't want to bring me in on that in any
At
type
all?
of way?
I
You
mean,
know
but
what I'm
hold
saying?
on. I
Because
feel like-
they got things where like
I feel
Robin
like
Hood.
I feel like that's a little nigga shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's
This is-
definitely
this is why- this is why
It's
though.
definitely niggas.
This is why.
But it's
'Cause
the
like-
right. It's right.
Right.
But this is why. This
Exactly.
is why I say that though, because we give our information for free all the time. Like, if
Signing up for apps.
all the signups, every sign up, any sign up you ever do,
Fast
you
food.
be giving away
information.
your information for free, and
Mm-hmm.
until somebody tried to turn around and sell that motherfucker,
You
niggas
give
didn't
a
want no
damn
money
bubble
from
gum.
it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
And what niggas is selling it for is really they selling it to me, someone like me, right? Where it's like, I need a whole bunch of people that might be interested in a black anime cartoon, and I need this type of information, all this, so that I can pinpoint exactly who I'm getting it to. Lord knows, I wish it was free. Thank God, I don't gotta pay every single one of the people that I'm trying to go for as customers, just to try to convince them to buy my book.
So let me get this
You know
straight.
what I'm saying?
So you're willing, for the sake of business, to do this evil?
Evil.
Yes, it's evil. I prove it to you how it's evil.
You do that, and we'll talk about it then. You show me.
Well,
that, and
well,
then
well,
we'll
cause
talk
see,
about
cause
it.
you tried to call it niggerish, right?
Yeah.
The fact
I
that
didn't say
no.
information. Hold on, not
No,
the
no.
selling of the information was niggas.
But no, the
I
fact
was
that we
saying,
want some money back
Yeah,
out of the
to be
situation.
doing something for free.
But
and
no,
then
but still
see,
though.
you know what
But
I'm
when
saying?
you're giving somebody your information to a company,
Yeah.
I'm giving it to the extent that I'm just giving it to you, not nobody else. Period.
It's because of the third party.
I can-
Exactly.
I can feel you- I can
So,
feel you on
so
that. I
it's
can feel you on that.
unrighteous for that company
To
to
take
go
your
behind your back.
information.
Do not consent you, because understand, when it comes to rights, you always give notice.
Oh yeah, no, I feel
When
that.
you're doing business with somebody, that's
feel
why
that.
we have the Truth in Lending Act
Right.
and it's fair credit and all these different things to protect us, to let them know you just can't go and get this information. That's why I'm agreeing with them when they asking TikTok, Bro, okay, if y'all got all this information and everything, at least agree that you will not sell the information to anybody. Because you don't know what they doing with that information. You don't know what they doing with that information. Somebody could be going to create a bank account in your name in a whole nother country and getting on, and then you go over there and you get locked up because you got. But see, but that's what I'm saying. They doing this though. Later, these niggas, they are going out here with the CPNs and all this different type of stuff, and people are getting real scandalous in a way that you have no idea.
Now, what you
scammers.
Now, what you
That's
talking
what
about?
I'm saying,
what
bro.
you talking about? I can't say is necessarily what's happening at TikTok. It may be, for sure, at Facebook and a couple of these other American companies. I do believe that's why they've been at the Supreme Court over the last decade.
No, because they are selling the information.
They were, and they are now, but it should be in the policy that we have to sign every few months when they change the policy stuff. That's part of why they've been going to court. So for the purposes of the social media talk that we're talking about, because I know what you just said sounds also like credit card companies and a couple of other companies that have access to information where they really could take our, credit, you know what I'm saying, and put our name somewhere else and use
because you don't know, because a lot of times we are given, we only supposed to be giving our social security number to companies.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We're not supposed to be doing that. Like,
you see what I'm saying? And
Facebook
that's why
don't
I
have
understand
that
what
on me,
you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
So what I'm saying in so many words. Okay, so even with what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
If we don't have it in contract,
that's why I already agreed. I'm like, yeah, if we don't have it in our contract, but in my mind, when I'm talking about this at the moment, it's not that they're illegally selling our stuff. It's just that they were selling it in the first place. And if we're talking about them selling it, and I've already agreed to it in the policy that I signed, then I'm not asking for money from it. If I signed that policy,
but they have to
you know
give
what
you
I'm
full
saying?
discretion, Jalen.
But
that's what's making it evil.
I hear what you're saying. Is that if full discretion is in the policy that you sign when they say privacy policies and all that, they do not.
But they don't. Hold on.
Yeah.
What language we speaking in?
English.
No, we ain't. Because I guarantee you, when they put it in the contract, it ain't gonna be in plain English.
Okay.
That's how you think they've been getting all the artists all these years? They using dogma language that does not mean what the natural person in English think those words mean. So what I'm saying is so many words. Even with their fraudulent contracts, my nigga, at the end of the day, it's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. And if you're going to go ahead and sell the information, you should be including the consumer in the transaction
of the commerce.
Because we're talking about the law of commerce. Okay? We're talking about equity.
Okay.
You're taking this information and you're selling it.
You're profiting off something that.
See, and that's the problem. That's why
I didn't give my
America
rights to control.
And all this commerce one day is gonna burn to the ground. I guarantee you. Because what's gonna happen is everybody is willing to do a certain evil for the dollar. And it says that all these things must exceed.
But look,
so that when it comes to a certain point, it's going to all come crashing down. Because the whole point is that we created this commerce.
Yeah.
But this is not the life that was intended for the humankind.
But we got manipulated.
But we have created this for the sake of power. And the more and more greedy we get, the more and more evil we have in our heart and the stuff that we're willing to do and not even consider the consequences of those actions, it's going to end up blowing to a point to where it got to come collapsing all down. And that's why there's a lot of squirming and they're doing everything that they're trying to do because they want to try to make up for all the damages that's being done. But all this have to come to an end.
Right.
It has to all come to an end at some point. We have to get it together. But I guarantee you, because of our hearts, we're not going to do it.
True enough.
That's one thing. But also what I was about to say is it's not that you're wrong in terms of that. It's also the fact that see how you just had to sit there and give me this whole explanation to tell me how that was wrong.
You asked
And
me
the-
to.
And exactly, I asked you to because I needed you to.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that I understood everything already. And as a matter of fact, if me and AJ didn't sit here and listen to you night after night talking about the deeper things behind some of the stuff that you just said,
Mhm.
you still wouldn't have made no sense. You know what I'm saying?
So we
So
wouldn't have known
sometimes
nothing.
for a lot, what you know,
Mhm.
for a lot of these people, it's not that they just have evil in their heart and they just greedy. I mean, maybe that's the culture. But
I disagree.
so I don't think my friend working at Facebook, who's just a tech guy who was doing
But
this and
he's
that,
not the guy in control. He's just working.
But when you just said your speech, everybody was included in that because America is the word that you
No,
used.
we said companies selling the information.
Okay, well that's where you at with it. But you said America, you know what I'm saying? So when I heard that, I'm like, well, hold on, there's a lot of people, including myself, and people who just work underneath those that big, thing that you just explained in terms
Mhm.
of the laws of equity and all of that. How many calls did you have to make to get to the person who actually knows what that means when you talking to a corporation?
I ain't talking about the guys all the way up there. I'm
You ain't
talking
even
about
gotta get
I'm
that
talking
high.
about the person selling the information.
But how does he know he's breaking the laws of equity
oh, they
if he
know.
doesn't even know what the law of equity is?
Because if I come to you and I say, "Oh,
But-
this is," but listen, you have to understand these
And how
people. They
many
have to be.
people
They,
is
and
gonna
look,
do
because
that?
that's just like when I go down to the DMV and I'm talking to these people. I understand. I'm talking to an agent. He might not understand what the principle, but that's besides the point. That has nothing to do with the. I'm talking about the action. It doesn't matter who doing it. It doesn't matter what level they're doing it at. I'm saying whoever is selling the information, if you want to make it better, if you want to make it more right,
Righteous.
you see what I'm saying? Because we know you're selling the information, like I said.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this stuff is going on already.
Right.
So now we're past the point of somebody might not understand it. There's enough information going on just with TikTok, YouTube,
understanding
Facebook.
whether it's
Is it-
wrong or
it-
not, how it is wrong.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
just the fact of we have a situation with data, and everybody knows this. Like we having this conversation all now. True enough, there's a lot of people that might not. They might actually be in the unknown, but we're talking to the people that know because they're the ones selling the information.
Oh.
It's not the people that's just
if they-
working there. It's the people that's actually selling the information and know they're selling the information. But in the context of what we're saying now, this is a problem. You still not trying to do what's right. So
yeah.
now I'm saying, okay.
Well, they're doing what's right within their jurisdiction.
Yes, yeah, they gonna
But
do
see,
it.
no, but
Yeah,
see,
they
but
gonna,
see,
they gonna do that.
But
of course.
but see, that's the thing about it. You got a whole matrix of people living in that jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? And in their reality, what they're doing is right or just or okay. And we're
So
speaking
even-
from what you don't mix private with public. We speaking somewhat in that perspective.
No, that's exactly what we're speaking.
And so,
of.
like, you already know, you doubt they gonna get to that point.
I
Of
know that-
course,
I know they
because
not.
that's how far and deep into the matrix somebody already is. It's like, but when I speak on what I'm speaking on, we in this level of commerce. We're in this jurisdiction doing business at the moment. So, if that's where I'm at with it, this is how my corporation is operating. I'm taking advantage of how this.
That's why I gave a business.
Yeah.
I gave a business proposition.
Mm-hmm. And that's why all of them. That's really why America will fall because the entire economy, the entire way the economy is set up, would
Mhm.
just crumble and fall on itself.
Well,
If
I'm
we
not,
were to-
I'm not literally saying that for us to do it. I'm saying that to prove a point. I'm trying to show how bad it is by saying, okay, if you're gonna do it, at least include us in it and let us know what's going on. But I know you're not gonna do it
It'll
because
make
it's so
cards
much
fall.
money involved
It'll
in
make
it.
cards crumble.
And you see what I'm saying? And so that's enough right there to show that
Yeah.
that's the whole point with dude from TikTok.
That's a
Pay
fact.
attention to what's going on. When he was in there and they asked him that question, I'm looking at body
What are
language.
you talking about?
Right.
The
He was in
the
court.
owner too.
Oh, okay,
TikTok.
okay. I know who's talking. Yeah.
They say, hey,
CEO, yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Now look, with him agreeing with what they saying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in conflict at the same time because I know why they're doing it at the same time. So it's like, even with them doing that, it's like it's still bad at the same time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm like, it's so much evil involved in it. It's gonna have to come. It's gonna crumble. It's gonna eventually crumble.
Yeah.
It's gonna eventually crumble.
I mean, and it's supposed to.
But I don't think that we should.
So
We gotta get back to square one.
So this is my question then.
Tap that in real quick.
Will you be purchasing any demographic information when you go to do your advertising for your business? Is that a thing you opposed to, like the vegans and meat?
What is the demographic? What are you talking about?
That's
He's
some of
talking
the
about-
information that we're talking about them selling.
Yeah,
See, companies
because
like-
we don't necessarily need always. Well, we're gonna use some form of demographic information in an advertisement.
It's ridiculous how important it
You,
is,
you know what I'm saying?
Or you're
Like,
just
there's no
wasting
way.
money.
There's no way to.
or you're just wasting money.
I mean, but are you making that choice?
I mean, me personally, I'm doing. I already did
But
it.
that's my point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. You get to make the choice
Yeah.
instead of it being taken away from you.
I mean, it's not that it's taken away from
okay.
me. It's not. It's the thing is, the information that I would be paying for is information that's been taken from other people and sold to whoever I bought it from, to be able to use to sell my projects more accurately through advertising. So it's not necessarily that I was, in cahoots, or that I was willingly giving up my information. I'm just willingly purchasing information that was sold. To my knowledge, I don't know whose it is and whose it was sold, but I'm using it right now specifically to sell these t-shirts to people I know will definitely buy them.
Well, that person is innocent. But what happens when you know, though?
That's what I'm saying.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. Like, are you
It's like-
gonna do that? Like, are you gonna use it now?
But that's why we talking about the seller. We already know that. Okay, like what makes it legal? What laws do we have that makes the selling information, other people information, legal?
Ask me. I don't even know. Wait, is it
What
like through
what
a
law?
job?
What laws do we have that makes it illegal?
You got the dash codes on there? or
The
something?
right of is the Bill of Rights?
I don't know if
Nice
they was
try.
talking about selling information back then.
It's got to do something with like the Constitution or something.
In which way? Like
Just-
what rights do you have with the Constitution? What type of rights do the Constitution provide that makes this situation so problematic?
Is there a gray area that you're alluding to?
I mean, sort of. I mean, because like even with the demographic information, like even with the adding that you're asking, again, we're coming down to rights, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying in so many words is that we have to understand. Here's the problem. Like even with what's going on with business today, just like when you go get a car, the amount of information that has been lied to you within that transaction. Now, we could say somebody don't even know, and they just been trained within
Yeah.
the company
Right.
that's the way that they're doing business.
Yeah.
Now, they might be innocent in the sense that they didn't know that they was doing harm or going against the law
Mm-hmm.
in that transaction, because sometimes people are just not ignorant.
Right.
So in those moments, we do have to have the opportunity to teach those people of how that is wrong. So we're not jumping to sue them instantly.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving them an opportunity to cure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity to cure a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I just gave in a proposition,
Yeah.
because I understand everything that you're talking about, but it does not justify the means of what's actually going on, because at the end of the day, the law of equity says that there should be no harm towards me in this situation. Now you would say, well, how is that harm? Because there has been information that is personal being put out into the public without my consent. Now, if there's a consent that was done without my full comprehension, it is already breaking the laws of contract, because there has to be two competent parties of a contract. That's why you have a right to rescission of your signature if you did not have full disclosure about the business transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming from a place of understanding these things and understanding that you have an equitable right.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I wanted you to make clear, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because we have an equitable right, right? So there's maxims of law, laws of equity that everybody needs to read, so you can understand your rights even when you go before a judge, because there's a judgment that cannot be put on you that causes too much damages. I give you a prime example. You get pulled over, you get a ticket, you go to court. The court want to charge you $600 and suspend your license for 2 weeks. Well, judge, that's a little bit too much, because that can cause damages on me. How is it causing damages? I can't get to work. I can't drive my car. You see what I'm saying? So it's causing your constitutional rights of liberty, life, and justice is being now provoked upon, because now you're putting some type of equity liability on me that it caused me to not even be able to live up to make the payment.
Right.
Oh, let's stop right there. Don't go no further.
Okay.
All right. From that, circle back to the music industry. Okay. We talking about contracts. Talking about the laws of equity. We're talking about rescission of signatures. We're talking about damages, remedies, and cures.
Yes.
We're talking about ignorance.
Yes.
In contracts.
Right.
And how to free yourself from your own ignorance, or even mistakes that you made in your own ignorance, or even lack of competence.
Yeah, because that's why you have sometimes where they might do a redraft of the contract because they want to change some of the terms of the contract.
Okay.
I think it's called an estoppel. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like, if you, like this apartment complex, if they want, like, somebody new bought it, they might send me one of those where I have to re-sign, because they might implement some new rules or something like that.
Right.
And my contract is with the old owner, and it has to be delivered over to the new owner.
See, that's probably how Suge got what's your name out that one contract. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's possible.
It's very possible.
Very possible, yeah, because he was with Interscope.
He was.
Right, and so they had to make it some type of way where his record label. So I think Suge was trying to put up the money because they needed Pac free so he can fill out his obligations. So it's like he's putting up the money to front that, but then Pac on the other end was still doing business with them at the same time. Now I don't know all the ins and outs of everything of that contract, but that's
potential.
Perfect. Yeah,
exactly.
It's very, very possible.
And that just goes to show how important, not just, I mean, I guess you could say legal knowledge is, obviously.
Man, you gotta know it.
Knowledge itself, knowledge.
Get somebody to do.
Yeah, because, man, that's why I'm having
it's
problems
important.
with the banks.
Like, getting somebody that do, to me, means, it's exactly what it is. It's an agent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
An agent is an agent because they're certified to operate the way that they operate, potentially go into rooms and do certain things that you aren't qualified to do.
Yep.
But
preach.
That don't mean that you defer to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't ever
Gilman.
put yourself in the position of so much ignorance that you defer
depending
to
on
agents.
him, right?
You never defer your intelligence to agents. You always have enough intelligence to be able to check your agents.
That's
to make sure
right.
they're doing the job they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Stop thinking like or get somebody else to do it.
Mm.
Them people is only there for help, checks, and balances. And to go in those rooms where you don't even need to waste your time being there. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to you because you say it a lot, but that's something all types of artists need to hear every single day.
Real talk.
And that's why you say, read what again? The laws of maxims. And
Maxims and laws, yeah.
Yep.
Laws of equity. Yep. You need to read that stuff so you can understand like what's your rights within the contract, and that's what dealing with commerce, because you also have private contracts, but there's certain wordings that when they implement that into the contract, it now steps into the world of commerce.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, you need to learn that stuff. So
and look, and as an artist, we're gonna get off them in a minute, but as an artist, we just went through talking about TikTok and talking about, you know, how things in politics could potentially affect how artists is getting their money right now.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like a lot of artists is changing their life and getting careers outside, in between the cracks, outside of major record labels through the miracle of anomalies like TikTok. And just before your eyes, within 2-3 years, you got regulations and laws and stuff that's coming in that will directly affect you.
That's right.
You too, you know what I'm saying? From the basketball stuff,
It
and all
affects
of that stuff.
everything.
And so while we may have veered so far into talking about law and equity and all this stuff, if you're going to get into the realm of commerce, which we keep talking about, that's just doing business.
That's just doing business.
And so if you're going to get into the realm of doing business, NBA contracts,
And
rapping,
contracts, period.
anything that you're
Any
doing,
contract.
you really going to
Any
have to
contract.
understand this stuff. And if you're especially an artist right now, you don't have the luxury of just getting in the studio and making music like you used to or like they used to. You may have never been able to do that. You know you got to be out here shooting music videos, doing things for yourself, making the pub happen for yourself. And one of the tools
Right.
that you use is social media. And one of the biggest ones is TikTok. You got to be making sure you up on not just the algorithm changes and what's trending, but potentially what will be around in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years in terms of, you know, what social media is budding up, which ones are dying out,
Man, look.
and which ones are actually just being attacked at the moment.
And what's new?
You know what I'm saying?
What's
That's
trending?
all stuff that you got to keep in context. So we gonna get even deeper on the music stuff on some other pods. So
Man, yeah, because that music stuff, especially like,
everything we talk about,
you know,
really-
they was trying to go and get some laws changed with getting the with the ass caps and everything.
yeah.
I forget exactly what it was, but
Yeah,
we definitely
royalty
need to
rates
touch
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah, royalties and stuff. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah.
No,
That's
it's a
always
lot.
been a thing,
I'm gonna
man.
write some stuff down. Next time we're gonna get into even bigger stuff on that.
Royalties always been a thing.
Cause like, who even banging in music? Like, what's going on? Like, who hot right now, as far as music?
It
Dude,
depends on the genre you want to listen to.
bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. The way I see things right now, for hip hop at least, it's wide open. Like
It feels like that.
everybody got so many.
It
so
feels
many
like
niches.
the NBA.
Yeah, it do.
Like, cause you gotta like, cause back
No
in the days
team
you
is
had like
standing
2
all
or
the
3,
way
4
out.
people that was like at the top tier, but now it's like you got 6 or 7
Yeah, it's,
that can easily bust your head.
It is a lot of people in the music industry. How it is. With,
well, you got
with
so many
basketball.
people being like. That's why we got so many responsibilities right now, because you have so many people. The barrier to entry is so low. So many people are making music. Then you have TikTok making people big.
Then you got
fast.
TikTok.
You know, it's making people real big fast. So you've got big names out of Ice Spice. Like, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? What is that? You know what I'm saying? But it happened. It's a thing now.
It's a
You know
thing
what I'm
now.
saying? It's a thing now.
Real
And a
talk.
lot of these things are just happening like that, and it just becomes a thing. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people on Shade Room, and it's looking to me like Shade Room has nothing else better to talk about. But these are people that are becoming popular in certain spaces, and they know that if they put them on the front of their blog, they'll get some likes and clicks.
Yep.
So therefore their names are making waves, even though they may just be a YouTuber that
Right.
decided to make music all of a sudden. So
Mhm.
we got a game right now that's full of people who know how to aggregate audiences. They know how to build customer bases and sell things to people. And a lot of them are just doing music on the side. Other people are doing music for real, but there's so many niche audiences that nobody really has everybody. The closest
Right.
people to having that is really Drake. You know what I'm
Drake
saying?
and all the old
And
heads.
Drake is, like, they don't want to hear the old head talk, but they've been in for a minute.
Mhm.
And so even
Come on,
even
man.
if they stay selling the same amount of records that they sell to the day they stop for 20 years,
Mhm.
when the next person comes up and does anything close to what Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake do in terms of numbers consistently, they gonna call him number one.
Mhm.
Even if they still, they gonna call that nigga
Boy, you
number
ain't
one.
lying. You
I
ain't
promise
not
you.
lying, bro. I've seen that literally.
Bro, they did it with Drake.
Yeah.
They did it with Wayne was still there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't left still. He still make music. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it go. And they at that point in their career where it's like, bro, you can be number one all you want, nigga.
Mhm.
Whoever come next, he gonna be number one for the tabloids. You know what I'm saying? Because they need that. They need that
But you see how
young
they-
LeBron to carry the league. You know what I'm
The
saying?
league is the hip hop music industry.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's crazy
crazy.
how music affect everything as far as culture wise.
Yeah, man. I mean, because it came from culture.
Exactly.
Hip hop is culture.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, it is culture, man. Like, that stuff gonna always be.
Like, remember when the NBA was on some no chains and we're attacking Allen Iverson with all this hip hop gang banging? Don't show your
That's
tattoos.
why I be saying, man, y'all gotta get AI a pass, man.
We always did.
AI definitely.
Whoever
man.
never gave AI a pass. is
AI
stupid.
don't just
They
get
be
a
going hard
pass.
on AI, man.
AI
Yeah,
don't just get a
it knows
pass.
how to-
Well, this one
AI
thing.
get a crown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Like he took a. Okay, because that's just like with the freedoms we have. That's why I don't like disrespecting nobody in their time, bro. I can't agree with it. Like, why can't we can have 2 or 3 goats?
Of course.
But that's why it was
I
hard
think
for
you
me
have
to
to.
disrespect both Jay and Pop. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why
Because I'm like, bro, Jay could never have the same impact Pac had.
it's
Right
not fair.
after
It's
Pac
not fair.
that- You know what I'm saying?
It's not fair, but that's what I'm saying though. But it's like then it's like somebody I teach you, and then you get real good, and then you go, I'm
Yeah,
better than you,
Yeah.
and it's like no student is better than their master.
Exactly.
And it's like when we have somebody that's laying down foundations like that, we can't forget nobody.
That's fair.
Because all of them, everything every last person did counted.
Every single time.
And I hate
Because it
that we
built
pay
your
attention to the
whole
ones
game.
that were the biggest ones. And because they made the biggest influence, we got to give them their credit for what they done and everything. We got to give them their flowers. And so when we talk about Pac to Jay-Z and 50 on down to Lil Wayne, I just feel like it's crazy to like just pick one person. Because I used to be into it, but the age that I'm at now,
Yeah.
it's hard for me because it's like I understand now what it's like to put a foundation down and other people build off that.
Yeah.
And it's like you supposed to be better than me.
You got-
Jalen, there's no way I should be killing you. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if I'm getting on this song with you, you
Yeah.
supposed to be killing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
the younger generation. You're
Right.
supposed to take what I did, look at all of my mistakes. I pity the fool
Right.
that is going to the same block that I hustled on and 50 niggas and went to jail for, and he going to that same block hustling.
But you got this is what y'all
unless he doing it smarter.
this what y'all forgot though. Like this is what the last generation be forgetting when it comes to that. It's like you work so hard to bring what you brought in terms of the foundation.
Man.
But
man.
it gets infinitely harder to take what you brought and raise the bar. The higher the bar gets, the harder it gets to raise it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
And
And
that's why we gotta
necessar-
honor LeBron.
But-
that's why we gotta honor LeBron.
But that's why
bro.
that's why I be okay with the rankings sometimes, because it's like, of course he's supposed to be ranked better after him if he did what he was supposed to do, because it's a plenty cats who done came through the league and didn't even put a torch to what he did for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So for the fact for Wayne to come out and be able to even be in that conversation, and then you say, it's like, okay, I could see you being in that rank for sure. Not only because you had to take the bar up that high, but because not only because you should already be doubling off of what we already gave you, but also because you found a way to take it higher than we took it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of cats to this day specifically can't light a candle to Big Daddy Kane. Pop, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, whole 90s package.
Man, bro, was
A
going
lot
crazy.
of cats to this day
going
rapping,
crazy.
getting more money than they ever got back then.
a lot, and see, and that's why I be like, when people start mentioning the money thing too, I'll be like,
But
that ain't
about,
fair.
It ain't about that. Fuck
But
the
some
money.
people bring it up, bro. Some people bring it up.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why I say, like, yeah, they making more money, but they lyrically, in terms of the art,
That's why we have to change that to different categories.
yeah.
And so
That's
when
the
we say
problem.
that's why I say it said best rapper.
I
So I'm
know
like,
why.
oh, best rapper. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, because now
What
we're
do
not
you
just talking
classify,
about
right?
lyrics. We're
Right.
talking about
Yeah.
now
I
we
know
got
why
to
you feel
include
like
the
that way.
impact and everything. That's
Yeah.
why I was saying that. Like, you can't say rapper. Now you say lyricist. Puck shouldn't even be on that list to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because he was not a lyricist at all. Now we talking Eminem, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These other names, Kendrick. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
now we can talk about these guys because
I say MC.
okay, MC. Now
But
see,
yeah.
when you talk about MCing, now we got to get you
Now
talking
you
about.
talking about DMX in there on some stuff because
Now you talking about Busta Rhymes,
Yeah,
my guy. Now you talking
yeah.
about mic control.
Ooh,
I was about to say, is a
Okay,
an
'cause
MC
mic control-
is an MC like a
That means mic
that's
control.
how you rock the crowd. Like,
It's,
that's how
it's,
you
it's about how you
control
rock the crowd, but it's also the skill set.
Yeah,
So let me just implement for those who do not know. It was also, okay, so you see somebody like with the singers, like when they get real loud, they pull the mic back from them.
Yeah.
That's mic control.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? When you see somebody get on the stage and they rock one side and then they walk to the other side and they attend to this crowd over here, that's mic control. When you can get the crowd waving their hands and you can control the party, that's mic control. And then you can come on with your lyrics and give us a song that is so hot, that's mic control. So when you say that, we're talking about the art form of hip hop.
Right.
We're on the performance of hip hop.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's an
That's a whole
interesting
nother
category. Who is the hottest MCs? Now they used to have those categories back then, but they got away from it.
Yeah.
It's because
MCs ain't
it ain't like really
that
it ain't
no
they
more.
really know that many MCs no more.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why I was saying what I was saying that day, but I was wrong in the sense of when I was talking towards Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I was wrong in the sense that it's a lot of rappers did what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In
Like
terms of how he was
how
performing
he
versus
perform on
someone like Busta Rhymes.
yeah,
or
because
someone
I'm
like
used
that.
to like Tupac
Rocky.
came on.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so full of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Too loud.
But Biggie, we not expecting Biggie to be going across the stage. That's just asking too much. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like that category. Yeah, I'm
We
interested.
gotta get back
They
to
need to
having
bring
that.
that back, bro.
No, we bringing that back because way hip hop look like that's another thing we gotta talk about. Sorry, we taking longer on this, my boy.
Yeah.
They talking about hip hop dying, not in the sense of it's gonna be gone forever, but in terms of its dominance. Like it's losing its dominance in the global market in terms of how popular it is, how many sales it's doing.
Because
Is it merging with something?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Absolutely.
I'm so like hip hop is
Well,
merging.
they
It's not
been
really
did
dying,
that.
but it's merging.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, they
But if you don't,
I don't
bro,
See, that
listen,
goes back to
listen.
what he was talking
Listen,
earlier.
listen. For the longest time I've been listening to music, I've always been a pop type of person. Why? Because I'm Michael Jackson and all the
Mhm.
the extras,
Yeah.
right? But there isn't a time where you can't mesh pop with hip hop.
That's facts.
Hip hop could mix with almost everything.
Anything. And that's what happened. Hip
Exactly.
hop, because hip hop could mix with anything, other things started claiming hip hop as
It-
its own instead of giving that the genres
just-
respect. You know what I'm saying?
And that
Wow.
and that's what I be saying. I've seen like something come out and it had a definition,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went 2 generations and it was something else.
yeah,
oh,
It was something that it was not firstly.
yeah.
You see what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Because so much and
Has-
got engrafted into it that
Bro.
it's not the same anymore.
Bro,
I see what you're saying.
that's why when we was earlier in my rap career, 2014, 15, 16, that era is when we started to see like a real shift towards the drill,
Drill,
trap,
mumble,
all these
all that.
sub genres of
Mhm.
hip hop.
So there was stages, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the stage before that.
Oh,
It was the culture mixing.
yeah.
Where
Oh, yeah,
the
when we was adopting
suburbs,
rock and roll and
suburbs
stuff.
was being mixed with the inner city kids.
It was.
That was the first step. So go on with what
Yeah.
you saying,
Man.
and then the mumble. You said the mumble rap.
Mumble rap.
cloud rap,
Cloud
all this
rap,
other stuff.
yup.
They started giving them those alternatives, and they start sounding more and more like rock and some other stuff on.
Because
On
rap
Southern
was coming to new
trap.
rap.
Yep. On
Yeah,
Southern
you know what
Trap.
I'm saying?
Because okay, so I'm so glad you mentioned this. Please hold that thought. Because back in the days, the hell music was rock music.
The heel.
Hell
Uh-huh.
Okay.
music.
Right.
So they got away from that and they decided that hip hop was gonna be that.
Well, all right.
How?
Bro,
All
because
right.
they saw that hip hop had the most biggest influence on people.
Oh.
And
And
see, the
white
thing with
kids.
Tupac and Biggie,
And
that's
white
why he
kids.
was saying what he was saying. Because with Tupac and Biggie, they hyped that up even more. And that was a way to them to learn and see, hey, this music has the most influence on the public more than anything. We even got white kids
He's
want to
still
be
on his
part of it.
Y2K mind control.
I am.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's exactly
No,
what it
for
is.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is the stuff I seen. Like, see, I'm somebody that kind of like was back. Y'all know I've been on this for the longest. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I've been paying attention to all this, seeing all this happening before my eyes.
Right.
Like even with the pants we wear,
Yeah.
there was like at one point,
Skinny jeans.
I looked
was
up-
on the-
and my type of jeans were not in the store no more.
at all.
Period.
I ain't seen no Jabos and Lord knows how.
I want to point this out. Every economic cycle so far, like you know how 70s, 80s changed
Mhm.
it. The amount of cloth put into or material
Yeah.
put into the clothing changes by how much excess of money the country actually has. So when things start getting tighter, people start losing their houses, financial crisis, niggas started jerking
Boy, you
and
stupid.
wearing skinny jeans. Just saying, you know what I'm saying? That money was running out, them skinny jeans got popular because we ain't got enough money to be putting all that fabric,
On them threads,
putting
boy.
fabrics on them 501 joints. Y'all buying them
Levi's.
501s too big, you know what I'm saying? What's the bigger joints than the 501s? You got 501 Levi's and then you got they got some
502s.
504s.
yeah, you know what I'm
504s.
saying? Y'all over here rocking these 504s. We ain't putting that type of money into putting that much fabric on one pair of pants. We can get 2 pairs of pants out of them 504s.
So you think it was a financial decision?
It's definitely, if you look at from the bell bottoms era,
Okay,
you know what I'm
bell bottoms
saying?
was before us.
Going to the 80s to the 90s, where when 90s you go 80s was tight.
Because we had cross colors, FUBU,
You said what about the colors?
cross
Cross
colors.
colors.
See, you don't even know.
Oh
you
no, I
don't-
know. Come on, dog. I was born in the 90s.
You know
I
about
was
cross
rocking the
colors? Okay, okay,
I was living
okay.
there with the cross colors in the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Looking
Real
like
talk.
the
Okay,
Fresh
so-
Prince. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, we had all that, but I hear what you're saying. And
Now, two things can be true.
Well, it's
One
possible.
thing is for certain.
It's possible.
Yeah.
No, these two things are true.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that is for certain. Nigga, that was forced on me, nigga. I don't care what nobody say. Because, nigga, I looked up and they was just there.
Uh-huh.
My jeans weren't available anymore.
Oh no, I was there with the process. Let me tell you, because at this point in time, I was going from Hawaii to California. From Arkansas to Hawaii, from Hawaii to California.
And
So,
you remember what years this was, right?
Yes, 2006, 7,
Mm-mm,
8. This is the first time I seen it.
Eight,
See,
seven,
that's why I'm
eight,
see.
You
nine,
talking about
10.
you talking about from it being popular to wear puffy stuff to skinny stuff.
Right.
That was a 10-year gap.
2006.
No, it was not.
Hold on, what year you
Smaller
about
or
to tell me?
bigger?
What year you was about to say?
Listen,
What year you was about to say?
This is 2001, 2002 when
Okay, so look, 2006.
it wasn't 7 years though.
2006.
I said 10.
No, but
2005 actually. You had Franchise Boys, lean with it, rock with it, lean
Still
with the
wearing
big white
clothes.
tee
Yes.
and the big clothes. All the South, that Laffy Taffy.
Yup. All of that. Them
Huey,
glasses was everywhere.
Pop Lock and Drop It.
Yup.
Pop Lock and, that's 2006, 2000. They still was rocking baggy then.
Until 2000.
And they
I
didn't
know that.
start getting into tight
To
until
2010.
2009, 2010. And
Okay,
I
so-
remember the day it happened. Like,
but no, listen to what I'm saying though.
yeah.
I'm saying from 2001 was the beginning of the
Shift
of the-
from your era.
from what I'm saying where there was the shift.
Okay. Yeah.
So up until what you're talking about, you're absolutely correct.
2003,
you're
Jay-Z still
absolutely
wearing
correct.
yeah.
So what I'm saying in so many words, and why I'm saying I'm not rebutting what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying it was also forced because of the way it was done. You didn't ever see no clothes in our culture get forced on us in any type of way ever. We never had it to where there was a certain style that came in and then that was the only style.
Not even during the disco
See, I've
Prince
never
era.
experienced that. It's always been the only
I
style.
don't know about
Not
that.
even
I can't
during the
speak- I
disco.
can't- I can't-
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
That's
saying-
why I say when I recognize the pattern is from doing the fashion study of how it went from the 70s fashion
And that's
to
the
the
point I'm
80s
getting to,
fashion,
because
from
in
the 80s
2001
fashion
they
to the
was bringing
90s.
it in. So
You
that's
know
the
what
point I'm
saying?
trying to make.
And even in 2001, think about that as well. You had the .com era and the bubble that bursted there going into the 2000 where people don't know if things are going to end. There was somewhat of
Yeah,
a
that's true.
economic downfall that happened in the early 2000s as
But
well.
that
It didn't. It wasn't as big as the financial crisis
you
of
go with like
2008.
yeah, I was just about to say.
But I
But
mean,
look.
nothing else was outside of the Great Depression, you know,
At
Man.
that time.
and the pandemic
At that
recently.
time.
At
Yeah.
that time, right?
Yeah,
And but see, I don't believe that because of the skateboarders.
Huh. I didn't think about them.
I mean they had been rocking, but
But again, I
90s
told you back in
skateboarders
the
had
day.
some baggy stuff on though.
That's the
yeah,
point
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
about to make.
yeah. I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Because and the way I'm bringing everything, I'm everywhere, but it's still the same. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm saying from this angle is all of that was planned because they was changing the image where
Because
we
of
were
the
the ones
influence.
now wearing
we see,
their style
right.
clothes, and then now they're wearing our style clothes. So it's like
Yeah,
they
that
wanted.
happened in 2010.
But yeah, because there was a time where if you was from the suburbs, the hood was not accepting you.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't from, you couldn't possibly understood
Well, we go.
where I was from. But now the suburbs is the hood.
I think
Right.
that was also
You
an
see what I'm
accident
saying?
too.
Huh?
I think that's also part of an accident too.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
yeah, because you had it where they was, you know, like even here in Little Rock, they was pushing people back out that way and stuff like
and
that.
the power of hip hop.
Gentrifying.
Like without being able to, because there was a time, the control of hip hop by record labels, major labels, and the feds was there, not as strong as it is today. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like Uncle Luke and all that. all of the legal troubles that they went through in hip hop leading up to the 90s and the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
that was because, like you said, that divide between suburban and hood was getting way too thin for their liking, with their little
'Cause they
suburban
didn't want that
kids
stuff to come to the
listening to that
suburbs.
type of
Exactly.
music. You know
but
what I'm
then
saying?
you had Eminem.
Then they began to embrace it. Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Listen, when
Then you
Eminem
had
came,
Eminem.
see, that's what I'm saying. See, I've been watching this for a long time, and so I have to watch all of that all that migration going on
Mhm.
Yeah.
from location to location, and how that now we have some of these kids that are starting to tap into this energy.
Right.
Now remember, at this time, hip hop is being taken out of New York.
And put where?
See,
West?
this is why they were saying hip hop was dying.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What New York had made hip hop, again, the foundations that they laid on what hip hop was supposed to be,
Mhm.
has now fallen in the hands of the commercial realm.
That's facts. Off rip.
Okay.
Yes,
and
sir.
they began to take it in a different
And
direction.
they was mad at Diddy.
I mean, look, bro, like,
They was mad at Jay.
hey,
They was mad at everybody.
but they was using Jay. See, Jay was trying to put himself in a position to transfer it over, but they had plans outside of Jay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying? Right, exactly. That's why you start seeing Atlanta start taking over a little bit more.
South.
It
Right.
start exactly. They start shifting it towards the South more because now these boys in New York they getting smarter on their contracts and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You see what I'm saying? And we want to control the narrative.
Right.
At the end of the day,
And we
whether
gave
you
'em
believe it or
twerking.
not, and look, and that's if you go listen to Dame Dash, that's what his argument was about.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps saying, "Oh, that dude that you know what I'm saying want to take our culture and then put our culture on the market and
Leo
don't even
Cohen.
understand our culture."
Leo Cohen.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Wow.
It's the same guy that shifted it from out there and brought it down here to the South
Huh.
for a narrative.
Right.
So now when we got mumble rap and stuff coming in the game and then we got skinny jeans, you have to understand that it's a controlled narrative. Because why are you taking away the conscious rappers? Why are all the conscious rappers gone?
Yeah.
Lupe, Fiasco,
Lupe.
man, all them boys that was coming in with that
They
new
all
hard
still
rap,
here.
bro. I
They
mean,
all
they
still
but
here.
they
They
ain't
just
getting
not
no
getting the
mainstream.
They're not getting
Yeah,
no
Yeah,
mainstream.
they not getting no
mainstream.
mainstream, and they not about to get no mainstream.
Nope.
Cause if we pumping somebody like Glorilla right now,
Man.
yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by
Ice
a
Spice.
forced narrative. Cause I'm like,
Man, dog, we gonna have a 3-hour podcast because that's just so. It's look,
man, we gotta talk about it, fam. Come on with it, bro. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
and look, the Ice Spice. Bless those
Ice
two
Spice
females,
Prakash.
all right. Bless
See, I don't even know
Glorilla-
what's going on with that.
Glorilla
What's that
Ice-
right there?
Look, this is what I'm seeing right now. To be honest, for a minute, I mean, look, Nicki Minaj was great. Like,
Long time.
Nicki Minaj was great. Honestly, Nicki Minaj So Fire is stupid.
But you see how they did her, right?
I hate how they did her.
Man, they screwed her
And
out.
that's the
And
stuff I'm talking
it's a
about,
miracle
bro.
she was able to be as big as she was, as dope and as lyrical as she was, and she was
Talking about one
only
of the
able to
hardest
do
female
it.
rappers.
She was only able to do
Man.
it by conforming in somewhat of a way with the way her image is.
They had to, bro. They have
because
to.
they just wasn't gonna let her grind.
because
they
they teaching them that you are a brand, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and they
And
I
that's
feel
good
like-
business. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I said what I said earlier about are you willing to take on the evil for the sake of business, or are you gonna do things the right way?
Because eventually,
I mean,
Gonna
this guy.
fall.
Look. That's why I said before in another pod that your brand has to be aligned with your identity.
You did say that, you're right?
You know what I'm
You-
saying?
You do exactly.
So if we're doing branding, just because I'm branding doesn't mean I'm evil.
No,
You know what
I'm not
saying?
saying that.
You know, I'm just for folks out here. You know what I'm saying?
Not saying that branding is evil.
Yeah.
It's good business. You should be branding.
But you know, if it's
You
true
know?
if it's true to the image that you have in your heart, and it's it's synonymous with the image that you want to portray in the world, then I have no problem with that. If that's what Nicki Minaj wanted to be seen as, you know what I'm saying, that just happens to work perfectly with what the industry wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even at that time. You see it to this day with Ice Spice. They want something sexual. I saw it happen with, man, I hate to say this, Chloe and what's her name, Bailey, the little girl singers.
Yeah.
They was little girls when they first got into the game.
They have got sexualized quick.
They was little girls.
They do all of them like that, bro.
And they just, at one day, they just seemed like they decided they wanted to be seen sexually.
Damn, is that?
And it just started going, and it's not like look, they may want to be seen as sex symbols. That's cool. I want to be seen as a sex symbol. Seems fun. But at the end of the day, it's like that's exactly how the industry pipelines them. And it's almost like, we're not going to give you no more success. Tierra Whack. Remember, you brought up to me a couple of different Tink,
yeah.
They not playing into that. And you wondering why the career didn't go like it went. I ain't going to say that's the only reason. But damn it,
it's a part of it.
What's the
you
pattern?
won't be wrong if you said it, even if you were speculating. Even if you were speculating.
And look, Meg is dope. You know what I'm saying? I thought Meg Thee Stallion was dope as hell as a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Man, she is.
And she
actually sound good.
And the only reason I can't listen to her that much is because it's almost like she's become one-dimensional with so many things.
Okay.
But that's because that's what they know sells.
Right. But think about this, though. Why are they using mostly the women right now?
That's what I'm getting down to. That's what I'm getting down to. I keep bringing up these women for a reason, because I always say, if you want to sell something, sell it to women. Yep. They buy things.
Yes.
And not only do they buy things with their money, they buy things with your money. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Other people's money. So it's a lot of money out there to be got when you're selling things to women. That's why it's obvious that they've had this shift in the culture of hip hop to really try to portray, nigga, they done took women and started treating them like boy bands in the early 2000s.
Yes.
They did.
Come on, bro.
If you can just find you a little white boy that can sing or rap, you gonna be good. If you can just find you a girl with somewhat of a fat ass, or not even that, shit, just can kind of rap and can bring somewhat of an audience together, you good. The more ignorant, the better, they found out.
That's what I don't like. I don't care that you choosing a female. I want to see more female rappers doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? But not to the point to where you have to choose the one that's willing to do the. What about the powerful black women that we know? It's some women I've been seeing on TikTok that go way harder. Way harder,
to their credit, hip hop has been built off of this imbalance of true MCs with real talent and caring about it.
Come on, man.
And the ignorance of just booty shaking and all that. But listen to me. I'm a musician myself, okay? I like making booty shaking music. The thing it does for me, I love to see people's energy. I like to see how they get down with it. It starts to me straight from the beat. I want to see you moving and shaking straight from the beat. And then a lot of times, like, you don't want to hear some super intelligent stuff on the track.
Yeah, sometimes you want to have some fun.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to dance. I get it. It's not no cool Ice Spice, Glorilla, no shade at all.
At all.
There's a spot in hip hop. They using y'all, but not only the use of it, it's the neglect of the other stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's the force feeding of one type of it's good to have an alkaline diet. It's not bad to have some acid in there too. You need a balanced diet.
Hey, there's some good bacteria that you need in your belly.
But you can't have all acid. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying.
That's all it is.
That's all we saying. Balance it out, man. Hey, look, because we know everybody ain't on different level. That's just like what I was telling you. Like one of my homegirls make me realize, like, they love Glorilla because they represent what type of female she is, right? And that was the case with, like, my generation with Tupac. Right. It was somebody we can relate to. You know, I hear people talk about Juice WRLD. A lot of the young they relate with Juice WRLD more. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta that was the foundation of hip hop, right? It wasn't just about the lyrics.
It was about relating to the lyrics.
I mean, it wasn't just only the lyrics. It was mic control. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the party and everything. It was the culture, right? And it's like it hasn't gotten away from the culture. We still kind of held on to it, but we just got somebody else in control of the culture
Right.
that don't fully understand the culture.
Yeah.
And so they think that this thing that we're looking at, this is what we want. You know what I'm saying? Or it's to an extent that this is what we're going to pump because we want to get to your kids.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
that twisted you
at the end of the day, this is something your grandmama used to tell me all the time. She used to say, I know the problem happened now, but the devil ain't trying to destroy your now, he's trying to destroy the future. So anything that happens today, you have to deal more with in your future.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So when I see them pumping out a certain type of people that speak a certain way, although in our culture we want to see those type of people benefit from it too as well, we don't want to see it being exploded to where it has our children having a certain mindset
Okay. I see what you're saying.
that might be given into certain activities.
Right.
Because see, here's the thing that a lot of people don't believe of. Why do they need that type of energy to be released in the world? Why is that important? Why is it important that they like this type of music when they would not even let their own kids listen to that same thing?
Right.
Okay, so what is the narrative behind that? It's the future.
Yeah.
Okay, because like for instance, when
We're talking about institutional racism at this point.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
like we
No,
get it. We
seriously.
get
No,
into some
seriously.
real deep conversation here with this because you have to understand, bro. How do we get people to a point where they're willing to give up their rights for the sake of security? We have to break down the household.
Right.
The first one, we get the woman out the house. We make her independent when she's not dependent upon a man anymore. And that turns into something.
Right.
All right. Now we got independent women making their own money. Now we got 50-50 relationships. You see what I'm saying? Because we have to break it down, but it takes generation to generation for a thing to be accepted. So that's why, like, one thing that was not accepted in my culture and my time is accepted in yours.
Yeah.
And y'all, we think it's good because any type of restriction being held to telling me that I can't do something make me want to do it more.
Right.
But that's using your own psychology against you. Because you have to understand we are in a spiritual war, and they know that. So at the end of the day, I'm not studying at what's on the forefront. I'm looking at the deeper things.
Right.
Because I understand it is the deeper things that's going to get them success. So when I see somebody like that being pushed out, or I see skinny jeans, or I see all of a sudden mumble rap being pushed out into our culture, and we're talking about, oh, they
Hey man, lay off the skinny jeans.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I'm just
though.
saying.
It's like, why do I have to wear these? Why my choice of still wearing big
Well,
jeans
it's
is
not.
not
It's
available
not. Well,
to
that's
me?
different.
But
That's
I'm
a
just
little
bringing
different.
that up.
But this is where it also connects because there's the power of hip hop to sell things. So if economically it's better for us to have people buying these types of
I
pants,
understand that.
we're gonna push that one
Yeah,
thing. You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand that.
But also hip hop, what is like, it represents rebelliousness to an extent, right?
Because at
It's
first-
adopted that.
He
You know
said,
what I'm
"What's the
saying?
name?"
It probably was already there.
No, but that's where hip hop derived from. We had an oppression of police brutality and the government, and rap was supposed to be our way of expressing
Outlet,
our voice.
right.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And so for them to recognize it as the vehicle of rebellion makes it so that they can do that mind war where you
Yeah.
doing it.
That's
to
where I'm
yourself,
going to,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And looking at it from the future perspective of it, it's, you know, you putting poison in the water, you redlining. You know what I'm saying? You doing redline. You don't recognize how much the redlining is affecting you until you look down 50 years, 100 years down
Exactly.
the line and recognize that
It didn't
your
already did
property
its damage.
values for a couple of decades. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so they just all. That's where I see the institutional racism side of it, to where it's like we're only going to promote same thing they want to prevent TikTok from doing.
Exactly.
Mm.
Controlled narrative.
We're only
'Cause they
going
can't
to
control
promote.
it like
they don't
that.
want TikTok to be only promoting to
Come on,
American kids
man.
Right.
foolishness and
Come on, man.
you can only get trending if you shake your ass or do this or do that. The same thing they don't want from TikTok is the same thing they doing to us in hip hop to this day. Nigga, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing for your family unless you do this on camera.
And that's why Trump said, "Hey, but y'all been doing
Right,
it."
but they been doing it.
To your point, you know what I'm saying? And
Plan
it go all full circle. Everything is playing a part into the.
But
big
you see
picture.
how they force us as young black men, individuals that have that aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, part of our fundamentals in terms of basketball, to get into the league, to be able to have you may have the skills and all this other stuff, but now you got to do all this politicking.
The PR,
and you got to dress in your suit. And when you show up to certain places and when you go to the combine, you got to do this and that. Those same stipulations is what they put on these rappers, which is why they out here with the
doing
guns,
X, Y, Z,
with the guns like this, and you know what I'm saying, doing
I
all this
agree.
other stuff,
I agree.
pretending to sell, pretending to do this, pretending like they was in the streets and all this, because this is a prerequisite that is unspoken
Now that's
that they try to put on us.
Ooh, man.
And that's part of the institutional racism right there.
Right there.
Why I gotta be that to be able to be successful from a lyrical
And that's the whole
standpoint.
thing with the hood and the suburbs.
Yeah.
That was like kind of not good too, because it's like, why? And that's why that movement felt so good, because it was like, now we could bring in anybody. They don't have to be from this certain area
Yeah. In
order to be successful in this arena. And
Right.
that is good. That is good. Because why do I have to have, like he's saying, I have to have this certain image to even be required? But again, that was the New York thing.
Exactly.
That's why they moved it from
It
New
don't even,
York
but it don't stop.
and brought it down
it's,
south.
It's still here. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and they still doing it.
it's,
Exactly.
it's the drill. It's the trap.
Man,
it's like
all that, bro.
If you rapping and you ain't said nothing about killing nobody, or you know what I'm saying, selling this or doing that,
It's
you know what I'm saying?
talk on this, just so
Like
y'all know.
it is, but it's like if you ain't did that, they telling you, first of all, they telling you already, if you ain't did the numbers, then we don't even know if we want you yet. You know what I'm saying? And then you've got an algorithm that responds to what's already popular. So if you do something that's popular, it'll show you to more people.
Yep.
Then you've got labels putting money, investing it into the artists that they did choose, investing it into them, making the algorithms react to whatever topic it is that they wanted to project.
Mm-hmm.
So if an artist, if 10 artists is all drug dealers and gangbangers, this and that and XYZ as a rapper, and I as a label put $100,000 into all of them to make sure that they do numbers on the algorithm is gonna think that gangbanging, shooting, this, that, blah, blah, blah is what the audience wants.
Mhm.
And then everybody else, when we go to the labels to talk to them to be like, hey, bro, let me get a little money. I'm talented, blah, 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 blah. They're like, well, you ain't doing no numbers. You gotta show us that
Make
you know what
the
I'm saying? You
algorithm
could build an
happy,
audience.
you
What you
know?
gotta do to build an audience, though? Do
Yeah.
something trending. Do something that they already paid to have be
Done,
popular.
right.
So you just falling into the, hell, you ain't did enough nigga shit yet.
Right.
Go act a fool first. Show us you can get some numbers. Now, let's get this right. There's a lot of artists out here who can do what they do. Maybe it falls inside of their brand. They don't have to be gangster, none of that other
Right.
stuff. That's the beauty of TikTok and the stuff that's happening right now, to where they can actually go and build an
And be
audience.
themselves,
And be
man. And be
themselves.
themselves. And then that's the part that needs to get back to hip hop or
Yeah.
how it used to be. And that's why we had so many variety of different artists who have different styles back then. That's where the you biting my style stuff come from, because it's like
Mhm.
you get a chance to be yourself and not have to sound like somebody else just to make it because that's what the algorithm says.
Yeah.
That's what everybody likes.
It's
You
like,
know what
what?
I'm saying? Like, let me show you what you don't even know you like yet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an
Like,
audience out there
you don't
for
know.
everybody, and they telling you, we not gonna sign you until you either prove that audience exists or you cater to the audience that we telling you is there
cater
for
to,
you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, hey,
They
if we
only wanna
doing
listen
that,
to
why
this.
do I need to come and do business with
Oh,
you?
that's why they gotta do better business now. That's one of the
And
things
that's
happening.
and that's the point
why
I'm
the
saying
war
too.
is
Yeah, that's
happening.
why
Hey, hold on now, nigga. I
Yup.
done had to sign too many equal contracts.
right.
It puts me in a position of the leverage that I actually have. I don't like that. That's how the labels talk. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I
Mhm.
need to be over leveraged.
Mm-hmm.
Man, want too much of the
Yeah.
cake, man. They want their hands in too much of
And
the cake.
nigga, y'all
And that's the point
own
I'm
everything.
and that's the point I'm making. That's what I
All the
was
labels
making
that
earlier.
fail.
It's gonna come down because even when it comes to just selling information or just doing right in contracts, y'all not willing to do it, bro.
Nope.
I've been talking to these banks,
That's the greed.
and that's the point I
That's the
was
greed.
making. It's like those people that know what they're doing, that know when they find out that it's wrong, they still doing wrong.
Or they write legislation to make it
And,
right.
and change, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They go change something, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just doing what is right. And we know in the long run, they're not going to do what's right. They're just going to try to find another way around it, some type of way. They never come back to doing what is right. At the end of the day, that's all it takes. Everybody just do what's right. TikTok, hey, we going to keep you rolling and everything. Just tell them that you're not going to sell the information to nobody.
Right.
And
That's still on.
and it is everything will still be good. You know what I'm saying? But if you still want to hide behind what's going on and all that,
That's hard.
oh yeah, I already knew that one was gonna stop. But
Okay. The other camera too?
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
You was just reiterating what you were saying earlier, but that's a perfect segue.
Like doing bad is still bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue to the last topic though, because we killed that one. Straight killed that one. But sports, man.
Man, next time on the pod, we'll talk sports.
Nah.
That was a lot of freaking. That was a lot.
We got a little bit to say. For
That
sure.
was a lot.
We got a little bit to say because AJ ain't said nothing on
I
that.
haven't. I was learning.
That's
That's all. Like, bro, I gotta absorb this information first.
Bro, the pod ain't got no time limit. It's
I mean,
our
true
shit.
enough.
So say what you gonna say. You got a couple things you want to talk about. Yeah.
Man.
As long as we keep it interesting, it's what it is.
Sports.
You had two things you want.
All right, so one of them was like the longevity of football, for sure. Seeing that Ezekiel Elliott got released as a running back
Right, and we don't know if he gonna play.
ever again.
That's how they feeling. Is that what you?
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like his
Oh.
career is done.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
nobody else is gonna pick him up. Like he might get picked up by the Commanders, but
Man, that shit
he might
sound
fall
like
into a Reggie Bush category.
That shit
but
sound
without
like a G
championship.
League team, man. The Commanders. Like what? You don't want to play for the Commanders, my boy. Just bow out. Nah.
Just bow gracefully.
How many years has he played?
Almost 10.
I mean, like running backs just don't last that long.
But it's
real
a
time.
lot of positions that's like that in football. Y'all don't have the longevity that basketball do.
Of course not. I mean, basketball don't have as much longevity either, though. Like
I mean, true enough.
a lot of
unless
the
you
greats,
on
but the greats
right.
are the greats. You know
exactly,
what I'm saying?
unless you on that.
So they
on that
last
spectrum.
10, and really a great could be 10 years and be gone. You know
Bro,
what I'm
you can be a
saying?
great role player out there. 15 years,
Yeah, no, it's
straight up.
There's some cats that can do that. You know what I'm saying?
And which sport?
in basketball,
basketball.
you can play 10 years and still.
But it's
be
like
great.
anybody with contact as far as football go, your career ain't
But see,
lasting
football.
15.
That's why I was gonna say football should be shorter.
Yeah. Especially just
I
the
give- I
contact
give-
part of it. Especially
I give it
running backs.
about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
That's what a
that's
lot
an
of-
average. That's
that's
an
a-
average.
That's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people that's averaging a good 6 years in the NFL.
But you'll have more people come through the NFL in general than you would in the NBA.
NBA,
Because there's a lot more injured players. They might not play for a whole 2 years.
positions
Way
and
more
stuff like
positions.
that.
Facts.
And their injuries do be taking them out for
And
a
there's
lot
more people on the
longer.
field.
Yeah, and the injuries that they have to deal with throughout their careers makes perfect sense why
They
they're not
contracts
lasting
yeah.
as long, and their contracts aren't as much. But still fuck that. They should be getting paid more than that though.
I mean,
They
sacrificing your
should be
body,
getting.
I
They
would
should be.
think so.
I think they should be getting paid more money,
And good health care.
and they should have more after football.
Yeah. Amenities, right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
real talk.
'Cause
Like
that's
they need
like
to be
war.
taken because a lot of them like they
Niggas
foot's
veterans.
getting amputated and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
them
Show
niggas
veterans.
like veterans, bro.
Like,
Like
show
they
veterans.
went to war for nothing.
Football is
You know what I'm
gruesome,
saying?
dog.
It is.
Football
It's a
is
battlefield.
gruesome, and you know basketball could get gruesome.
It can.
Basketball
You know what
can
I'm
get
saying?
gruesome,
So
but they have a lot
football
of-
is like anybody play football
You expect to be
except the
gruesome.
kicker
Right.
gets all. I'm sorry, kickers, but they get. I don't have nothing to say,
As far as that, right.
bro. You ain't finna get
But
nothing
it's
like
nigga,
that out of
you-
my
A
mouth.
nigga tell you he played running back in the NFL for any amount of time.
Man,
you
he,
gotta be
that
like, thank
he
you
could
for
be
your
like 3
service.
games.
You know what I'm
he could
saying?
be like, I played
Thank
3
you for your
games.
service, nigga.
I played 3 games, boy. You are the best.
Yeah,
I commend you,
Thank
my
you.
well,
guy.
shout out
Except
to
for
Ezekiel.
quarterbacks.
Shout out to Ezekiel
Y'all still get
Elliott,
respect,
bro.
but different. Yeah, shout out to
Shout out to him. Hopefully you get a contract somewhere. If it's
Who?
over, let it go.
Ezekiel Elliott.
The
Cowboys
running back
running
for the Cowboys.
Form
I about to say they sold him.
Yeah,
They
basically.
traded
him.
him.
They dropped him
They
like a
dropped him
habit.
You know,
like-
Cowboys
Yeah.
sell their players.
Yeah, they do.
Cowboys need to sell their team.
Boy.
Man, let it go, Jerry. Let it go.
Jerry gonna come down here and smack everybody. He like, nah, where they at? Arkansas? Oh,
He
no,
gonna
I
have that
know
whip. He gonna be like,
I know
Where they
exactly where they at? Colonel Glenn.
on a horse.
I used to ride horses down there. I promise you.
Real talk.
Well, switching on to a basketball tip, man.
So yeah, you wanted to talk to us about the basketball. Can we talk about that? Like, what happened?
So, do
Okay,
y'all-
so hold on. For those that don't know, AJ is a coach
Are you
for
going on that?
AAU team. Yeah, he said he wanted to talk to us about it.
oh, okay. So
Oh no, you did already.
I did, but we can publicize it.
Okay, let's
We
go
can
into it. I
publicize
mean, because
this.
we need to talk about this as
Listen,
well.
that is
You know what I
funny.
mean?
Listen
is
to me
funny.
when I tell you this story. In the middle of an AAU game, granted, this is our first tournament. A parent came up to me and told me what I should be doing with their child. I've been coaching for a good 5 years.
More specific though, and really more specific. It was like he should be playing this position. Why you got him at this position?
In the middle of a game. Didn't pull me to the side, didn't say nothing before the game.
But that's what's
Now
so.
this is so regular.
I was just about to
I've
say.
never experienced this, bro.
This is first time really experiencing. it.
I've never experienced that. And it's like, I felt a little, not a little, but I really felt disrespected because of the fact that you already paid me.
And it is disrespectful, and but we do understand when it coming from somebody's
Yeah.
parent.
Right, you
though.
just think about in the hood, straight up. Niggas playing football, Pop Warner. You think Pops ain't talking to coach about what he got his son doing?
how many
You know
times?
they- you know niggas.
How many times have you went to a game, saw the way the coach was coaching, and felt like you could have did better?
And I mean, think
In my
about,
younger days,
think about it. Your kid, it's your seed. He's the number. You're LeVar Ball. He's the number 1 draft pick. He's gonna be better than Jordan. I know he's only in the 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I've been coaching him his whole life. He don't miss a shot when I'm there, nigga. And da 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 da. And then he get in the game. Coach, you're not there. You know what I'm saying? Coach, you think you're there, but that's to the kids. To the parent, he's still coaching. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting up there and I'm gonna let him do what he do. Okay. All right, that's the 3rd time he done called that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now it's time for me to go down there.
Hey, give
and
him a
talk to-
piece of my
Yeah.
mind. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind.
but that's pre-COVID.
No, but look.
Pre-COVID.
But listen, bro. All right, so my kids are stepping into a new form of basketball that they're not used to.
Yeah.
So with that has to come growth and patience that, praise God, I actually have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it just can't come from me. It has to also come from the parents.
So that's why that situation was a test for you.
I wanted to cuss that old lady out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I wanted to cuss that old lady out. But it was just like, after the fact, I talked to the parent. It was just like, the kid is growing into it like he wasn't used like this on any other team.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years ago when he was supposed to learn this, he didn't because of
Mm-hmm.
COVID. Like, what do you want from me?
Oh, that's what you mean by pre-COVID.
Yes. I've never have we ever experienced not playing basketball when you 13, 14 for a year and a half?
So you still gonna deal with it. Fuck that. Whether he played fucking 3 years of basketball worth of basketball during COVID, you're gonna be dealing with parents.
So basically,
But not all the time.
Bruh.
I mean, no, but we just saying,
Yeah,
all we saying is that it comes with the
Depends.
territory.
It does.
It
man.
It comes with the territory.
Think about
I've
it.
realized so much stuff.
You
come with
talking
this
about
culture.
you
Yeah.
talking about a grandmother at an AAU game. What does Darvin Ham have to deal with every night? You know what I'm saying?
Championship expectations.
Oh,
Not
no,
just
no,
that,
no, no.
nigga. How many niggas is telling Darvin Ham what he should have did? Who should have had more minutes? Who he should have stacked with this person? You know what I'm saying? What play he should have ran in the third quarter with 2 minutes left? Da 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 da. That nigga
Yeah.
got the job. Nobody else
Got the
telling
job.
him
And
that
that's
shit.
why
Got
we
the
saying
job.
like you're not wrong in feeling the way you're feeling. You know
But
what I'm
that's
saying?
what comes with being
That just comes
bad.
with the
Yeah,
territory.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. It's like we just basically telling you, don't let those things bother you.
At
Right.
one point,
Right.
at one point, you were an inexperienced amateur coach with
No
nothing under your
experience.
belt, and you was still thinking you knew best.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That even now, you think you know best, and there's a lot of mistakes you're making now that you don't even know.
Straight up.
Because there's a level of basketball that we have not been experienced to. And that's true. We are not professional basketball
That's
players.
fact.
Neither of us have been in any NBA facility to understand how they practices really go. We only know what we have been allowed to see through social media and other
Well,
platforms.
I was a ball boy for a whole season at Euler. So
No, you have more than us.
oh, you talking about y'all? Oh, I thought
No,
you
no,
was
no. But
talking
I'm
about-
just talking about including you too. Again,
yeah,
on
yeah,
an NBA
'Cause
level.
Euler ain't
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they D1,
they D1.
but
they
they
ain't
Arkansas
They ain't
D1.
Arkansas. They ain't
You
no.
know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? North Carolina.
Like you might go
and
to.
not even that. It's just another level above. They're not, they're not G League. You know what I'm
Right? They're not
saying?
overseas.
And
that-
that's
you
the
know?
point. So that's what you haven't been experienced to that level.
Mhm.
So it's like
And if
you
want
got to
to
remain
get it-
humble too
Yeah,
at the
of
same time.
course.
But that's why I say, yeah, you have a right to feel how you feel. Her approaching you was wrong and saying that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you don't trust me in my process with your child, why did you come to me in the first place
Exactly.
anyway?
That's
It's just
all
like
I'm
when somebody
saying.
get in my chair and they acting like they not trust. Why get in my chair if you don't trust me
Right.
with your hair?
Right.
Like get in somebody else's chair that you trust
Right.
because
That's facts.
I know what I'm capable of, and
But
that's
that's
where
why-
you're coming from. It's like I know what I'm capable of, and I have the best interest for your child.
Yeah.
So anything that I got them doing, you have to trust why I got them doing it,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying. You're justified in all that.
Yeah.
But on a mature level, you just have to be like, I understand, and see that comes with once you become a parent, you'll understand it. And that's what I mean. I tried to put you in a position where you could understand where they was coming from. When
Mhm.
you was in that person in the crowd looking at what's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on and saying, oh,
Well, he
I
coulda
seen how
did
things,
this. Right.
because sometimes a person on the outside could see things a little bit more clear than you
a
can.
lot more
You,
clear.
you see what I'm saying? So it's like you got to keep your humble energy at the same
Mhm.
time, even though you know this person is asking you something that they shouldn't be asking you.
Right,
It's
right.
like,
But I should be at least a little open minded.
The open-minded to the extent because sometimes people know they children too.
That's true.
Like I'm gonna give you a prime example. In school, they were trying to say that Passion wasn't capable of learning. They came to me and told me, your child is incapable of learning.
Institutional racism.
I said, for real? Because she learn at home all the time, every day. As a matter of fact, I see her learning. Well, it just seemed like she's just not getting the material that we're trying to give her and stuff. I said, okay, well, I looked at it. I said, this is the material I give all the children? She said, yeah. I said, oh, that's the problem. She said, what you mean? I said, nah, don't you know that every child is different?
Right.
I said, don't you got kids? She said, yeah. I said,
are all of them the same?
I said, so you use the same technique on each child? And it works on both? Do you get the same reaction out of both kids? Do one cry louder and the other one don't? Is there, you know what I'm saying?
Right. What's their reaction to certain
So
things?
basically, you have built a curriculum, and you're saying if the child can't live up to whatever standard I put before them, they are capable of doing it. And then you put a systematic title above their head and throw them in a certain corner.
Right.
But I'm like, that's not real teaching, because you're not trying to humble yourself to the cares of that person.
Exactly.
And you have to, that means you have to sit and require what it is that get them ticking. And that requires patience and all that extra good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. I said, well, I'll tell you what. On my end, I'll do such and such at home. And when she comes in, I'll need you to add this to whatever you're doing.
Right.
And I promise you, in about 3 months, her grades turned to A's. She started getting better grades in there. And she's like, you were so right. And I'm just, but it's just like, that's what we do.
Right.
You know, we try to minimize things. That's kind of, that's why I was kind of getting into the thing with, like, even with the LeBron Jordan debate. I'm just like, why do we have to compete everything? Right. What is this thing in us that we have to make everything a competition? Like, why we just can't say that?
That's capitalism.
Both of them niggas is.
No, that's capitalism.
Dope, right?
Because it's like if we go back to the conversation we've been having all day, that means we shouldn't be saying too much on Jordan, and it's unfair to try to compare him to LeBron, where LeBron had all the time to exceed on everything that he already done, because he's came behind him. So he's building a bar higher on the bar that he already set.
The reason we
and
do
he's
it,
did it, but it's like we have to have this competition thing between us.
If we don't do it, we don't get a Jordan. Jordan didn't become Jordan because everybody was just as good at it. Everybody gets the same respect. No.
Well, I understand
Jordan
that.
wanted the same type of respect as who? A couple of cats.
Yeah.
Magic.
He said he wanted to earn his respect in the NBA.
I want to sit at the table.
It's the competition is creating the table.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
In sports, I understand.
No,
but
in
everything
rap
though.
stuff, yeah. I mean, rap, piano, because that's why I say it's capitalism. Because once you have that competition fueled, now you have this ramp up.
It's all,
production.
it's
you
all
know what I'm saying? It's people it's this competency between whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that game was created for competition. I'm just saying, as far as outside of basketball, I mean,
and it creates better product at all times. Like when you have that there, now you have a bar for people to try to reach or try to uphold and sell.
That you can market.
And you can market your product at this certain level. You know, people are now playing like Kobe. It took the entire game to its next level. People playing like Jordan take the whole type of game to its next level. And when the game gets to its next level, when there are kids looking at, I want to be just like number one. I want to be. One is not remembering, and two, nobody remembers. When kids have that type of mentality, it makes them want to join the basketball team in high school because maybe I can, which means he buys more Nikes and more LeBrons and Jordans, which means the corporations get more money. He puts more money into AAU teams to get his family to put AAU money. that creates an entire ecosystem outside of the NBA of competition where money is being circulated towards this particular sport for music per se. I want to be the best producer. I'm buying the best plugins. I'm buying the most, whatever's going to help me make the music just like whoever I think is number one. Better than that. I need it to sound like Dr. Dre, as crisp as Dr. Dre. What did he use? SSL. Let me go buy that SSL as soon as I get the money. That's $44,000 into people who make SSL products. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting people to want to get the best shoe, the best shooting program, the best piano, the best mic, the best this and that, so that we can make our dreams come true of being better than so and so.
Okay, you just made me realize something. So it's not the actual, cause see what I be looking at when we have these type of conversations, I'm looking at what that leads up to, and what's the outcome of it. And so it just made me realize it's not that the competition is bad. It's the unhonest business behind it.
Boom. Back to what we
Because
started.
when we do good business behind it,
beginning of the episode.
we ended up with LeBron James schools and
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and all those different type of things. So I thank you for bringing that insight, because I wasn't thinking about that part on it. But that's absolutely correct. Like, for as far as business and capitalism, where we can capitalize and make more money, that is, and it's good conversation as well. I understand it as well, but I'm just like, I guess you get tired of, you know what it is? It's me. I'm at a point in my life where I'm actually tired of seeing us compete with one another.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing my people competing for everything towards one another. Because it's like, we can't even stay in the same house with one another.
Yeah.
We don't even love each other enough that where we can just bring our family together. Everybody move in one house. We stack our paper, and then everybody branch out with their own thing once they can all take care of themselves. We the only race that can't do it. And I'm looking at the deeper things, and it's those type of, even with that I see an evil that's drawn out of that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it bothers me, because I'm like, dang, is a certain evil we need? You know what I'm saying? And when I say evil, y'all, let me say this too real quick. When I say evil, I'm not saying in the sense where I'm trying to be this goody good guy. I got evil in me too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, there's some good evil, good bacteria and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that I can accept that, the competition, everything, but I feel like in the long run, it kind of makes us competitive towards one another.
This is what's crazy to me, because it's not, no entity has the power to control us like that.
They don't. It's a
something
choice.
in us.
It's we
whatever
choose it.
evil we talking about. It ain't being given to us. It's being fed to us because we thirst for it.
Exactly,
You know
because with the hip hop thing, we the ones that was poisoning us with the information.
Yeah.
They just saw how influential it was, and then decides to capitalize off of it.
It's something that we like about that. It's the flesh, we know. But,
yeah.
But the boy, next pod.
Cause that's a whole nother 2 hours right there.
Straight up.
And it's just, it's me, man. I'm just in this point in my life right now. Like, I want to see my family prosper. I actually want to see other people prosper. You know, they trying to force us all back to work and all this stuff. And I'm like, let us prosper, bro. Y'all didn't torment us with and using all this stuff to try to oppress us. Why y'all need to have us oppressed? Why do we need a sense of power? Like, I have these questions in my head right now. And I understand it, but at the end of the day, I'm still asking, why do you need that? Why we can't come together and everybody go down to the beach and we roast a pig and just have
bonfire?
Because
have a
that,
bonfire,
my friend,
man.
would be heaven and Jesus would be back. And with that, you know what I'm saying? We're going to say peace out of this mug, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Good day and good night.
Have a Steph Curry sleep. 3-point in your face.
He's not supposed to be here. Oh, he got somewhere to be.